Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Everyone, I hope everyone is now thoroughly awake, especially our friends overseas who I know your head was kind of like into your what? It's World War III time.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. It's actually I played an American version every once in a while. Just so people can see what the lyrics are, and most people are like, really? Is that what it says? I'm like, yeah, it's pretty harsh song, man.
It's like 99 Red Balloons. The American version is cool, but the German version is actually better. So
yes, it is.
99 Luftballon, right?
Yeah, it just sounds better. It's just, or maybe because we all got used to it. Hello, is it raining?
It got overplayed to hell in the 80s. Jesus Christ!
It's still a good song.
Oh yeah,
it is. Well, I'm always looking for something good to start off. Y'all can always send me stuff, but I'm always looking for something. I was going to play a House of the Rising Sun because it is the new Mardi Gras down here. Welcome everyone, by the way. If you're in New Orleans and you're listening, I told all my friends to be listening to that. I hope y'all are all having a good time down there. We have the first real set of parades running tonight. Everybody's out getting drunk and loaded and naked, and it's nice weather tonight, so it's not even cold outside. Get this, people. It is February 2nd, and it is 70 degrees outside.
Are you
go out and enjoy yourself. Now tomorrow it will be raining, but it'll still be 65 degrees. So have some fun, enjoy it.
It's
38 degrees here right now. 38. How about you, Sean? What are you, like 36, 34?
34.
No.
So wait.
I don't know, maybe feels like 63.
Yeah, but Sean's about to freaking drown. I was talking to Lynn. I said, I'm gonna have to bring my company out to Cali because we specialize in flood and floods. And I was thinking, damn, because there's no way.
They're kind of on the coast, Joe. It does make sense.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of flooding. I watched the stuff in San Diego and I watched a few other places. There's lots of work down there, and it would be easy for me to get it because I actually know what the hell I'm doing.
You'd also probably have to specialize in fireproofing because there's a lot of those counties now, even the ones by the coast, they have, I was just watching this old house yesterday and this afternoon. They have some really, really strict building codes as far as, fireproofing homes, especially in certain zones. So that's another thing.
So this in disasters, codes kind of have a tendency to go
change
because what happens is you get all these homeless people, and you got to do something with them. And, they can only stay in hotels so long because that's costing the government or insurance companies just a buttload of money. And literally a couple of insurance companies I was working with for Katrina and for Ida, they're like, Joe, do you have any rooms? Can you get people in? What's going on? We were wrapping up 8 plexes and they were filling them before we could even get the people. Look, they were going, can they move in while you're still working on the apartment?
Yeah. People moving into the subfloor dust,
But my company gets to brag. We had the first office building and the first apartment complex up and running after Katrina, and everybody was freaking amazed. We were amazed, to be honest with you. It was a 300,000 square foot office building. We had up and running in 6 weeks, man. These people were freaking amazed, and we had a 20plex open. I think it took us 4 weeks to get it up and running, and we were just But what I did was I was in. I had never evacuated for a storm before, so this was the first time. And I only left for 3 days. I went to Fort Walton, brought my whole family down there. I'm scattered all over the state. And we get down there. While I was down there, I was recruiting help because I was doing radio. I was doing live from the hotel room. Hey, look, this is going to be a disaster. I'm looking for people who want to come down. I had people as far away as from somewhere way up north in Canada. We had 11 people come in from Canada. We had people from all over the place come in. And so when I got home, I stopped in Panama City Beach, bought a bunch of generators, a bunch of other stuff. We happened to have both trucks with us, so we loaded up the trucks, the cars, cruised our ass back to New Orleans, had friends, so I got my permit sent to me, so I didn't have to sit in the traffic or the lines and get back into the city. I got back in the city, and literally we were cutting down trees, cutting off water lines to get to our house. But we would the following day after we were home, we were already working on buildings. And since people knew we were here and I was broadcasting live from this disastrous city, people were coming down because we were paying really good money and they were coming down. They were like, really? You guys said, yeah, we can. Said it's going to be rough. I said, we can put you up somewhere, but it's going to be, rough, but you're going to be making the bucks. And they were making the bucks. Some of the roofers were making as much as $1,000 a day. and that was help.
Damn.
I mean, that was labor,
Damn.
man. That was nothing but labor. And you're sitting there thinking, what's these other guys making? They're making labor. But anyway, welcome everyone again to News on the Flip Side. We have Sean, and I think his name is Jason. No, Jay's with us tonight. Jay, were you on? Were you on with the crazy madman Jeffrey Mavis Pritchard tonight?
Oh yeah, we just finished up.
Yeah, because I hadn't come in that early. Well, no, he hosts with Jeffrey Madman. I call him Madman because Jeffrey's a madman. Jeffrey is now officially, besides myself, the oldest host in the network. It's just scary, man. It's just considering I had to talk this guy in for 2 years. He used to do written. So he did interviews, but you had to come in, but they were text interviews. I was like, what? They were live, mind you, like in a chat group, but you had to text. I'm like, dude, there's no way. I can't text as fast as I can talk. It's not going to happen. Plus, anyway, it's going to be like jibber jabber. And he's like,
I got to be there pretty high too. I've been on with Jeffrey for at least going on my 9th year now, so 8+ years. So yeah,
so it's so y'all been around with us for a while. That's Church of Mavis. They actually are on before this show. Yes, no, Jeffrey's in
Church of Mavis now on Roku Fridays 8 to 7 Central.
Yeah, I hear a bunch of them are coming down for the Mardi Gras this coming up week. Well, people, from now until next Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, there's parades and garbage and stuff going on in the French Quarter. Every night, the French Quarter will be packed, and the closer it gets to Mardi Gras, the more packed the quarter will be. This whole entire weekend, it'll be like, screaming, push over. It'll just be, you really have to really know how to walk your crowds if you're going to come down here and hang out. And you hang on to your friends and family because it's easy to lose them in these crowds.
Yeah, literally grab an elbow. It's like that on River Street in Savannah on St. Patrick's weekend. The River Street it's a sea of people. And we used to stand on the balcony of the one of the hotels there on the river, and you could see when a fight breaks out. There's like this large trap.
Oh. And the large track kicks Jay in the asshole. Apparently, wham! That's what happens when you get in them crowds, people. You see what happens.
Hey, Joe, what part of New Orleans should you recommend people not to go through during Mardi Gras?
So this is what I tell everybody. If you're not from here and you're going to be partying in the downtown area, stay in the French Quarter, the Vourey. The Vourey. Sorry, don't go to Vourey. Stay in the Marigny, the French Quarter, and the uptown part of St. Charles. It's all safe up in there. The worst will happen to you. Somebody might pickpocket you, but that's the worst that's going to happen to you. Now, if you're stupid enough to wander, like, say, 8 blocks out of downtown New Orleans, you deserve what you get, because you can see the neighborhood is actually getting progressively worse as you're wandering along. So just don't go there. They like stupid tourists that wander in there. They won't kill you or anything, but they will sure take everything you have and worse on that occasion. So I'm just saying, stay where the people are. Always stay in groups. I don't care. Even locals, to be totally honest, even locals travel in packs. We're usually 3 to 5 of us when we go to the quarter. And it's mainly because it's safer that way. And it's not just they got weird stuff goes on in the French Quarter late at night. So there's weird events, like you'll be standing there. And so in between the old Pirates Alley, in between St. Louis Cathedral and where the slaves used to be sold and executed, from time to time, you'll see what looks to be women in big ball gowns just kind of swaying down the middle of the thing. It's just weird. And I can't tell you how many, I've seen it myself, and I can't tell you countless of other people have seen it. And you're thinking it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You've been drinking all night. God knows what else you've been doing. And you think, okay, you just hallucinate. No.
People don't really tend to have the same hallucinations, even if they are taking the same drug. Even if they take the same drug at the same time, they won't have the exact same hallucination.
The local bishop there, he'll tell you the same thing. He's seen him wandering around in the church and stuff. It's just part of the local thing. But they don't seem to, they're not even aware of you, or they don't care either way. But the quarter is a very old place with a lot of weird stuff that's been on and a lot of deaths. So no telling what you're going to see down there. Jamie, look, I seen the article. Biden's going to win. There's no way Trump can win. What polls they're looking at, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm confused.
Look at the media. Look who's on the media. When you look at the news, who's on first?
The Taylor Swift poll. Come on. The Democrats really think that 64 million Taylor Swift Swifties are going to vote for Biden if she.
Actually, they've been saying for weeks that He's already lost 36% of the black vote, which is pretty much enough to keep him from winning. The Z-Geners are leaving him by the dozens. I mean, he can't hold on to anybody. Plus, the other day, he's on TV bragging about how good the economy is as gas goes up 50 cents a gallon. I'm thinking, really, dude?
I just checked before the show. Our gas has gone down like about 10 cents, but
Well, there you go.
that's still going down.
Check this out, Jay. Seriously, I went to get a pound of bologna, jumbo, right? Bologna, $7.49.
Jesus Christ, where do you live? In hell?
In Pittsburgh.
Yes.
You know what a pound of,
Yes.
I'm 3 hours.
do you know what a pound of premium bologna would cost here? $2.49 a pound.
I'm moving to New Orleans.
That's premium.
Stuff,
if it's the really mixed up shit, not the pure beef bologna, that's about $1.89 a pound.
Oh my God. Damn.
It's you get Jasay's ham down here, which is some of the best ham on the planet for $4.49 a pound. And we get it
I'm only
shaved.
3 hours from
Really
Sean.
good
If I go
shave.
to the grocery store, I can get Oscar Mayer beef bologna for $5.99 for a pound. If I go to the deli in that same store,
y'all should be. So wait.
$6.99 a pound.
So what's a pound of ham cost up there? Because I want to ask what it is out there.
$5.99.
About $6.99 a pound.
So Sean, what are you paying? Sean probably don't eat this nasty shit because he's a California person. But
No,
Sean,
I just it's probably if I had to guess $10. If I had to guess $10,
Here's another perspective. A giant Jersey Mike's submarine sandwich used to cost before COVID like $9. They're now over $15.
Yes, they are. I bought one the other day.
It's less than a pound of meat.
Yes,
It's $15 for a giant sub.
and they all act like inflation. It's getting better. But they're just talking about the rate.
That's what they were talking
rate of
about.
Increase has gone down. Like
People got
going
well,
down.
it's doubled in price.
So the other day when Biden was giving a speech, inflation
Everything's
actually went up when he was giving his speech. When was it? A week ago. It actually went up while he was giving his speech.
Yeah, and it's still
I was like, I don't know. It's high. It's way high, and it's been a long time.
Yes.
Everything's at least 3 times what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know, people. I don't know what y'all gonna do. I'm starving. I'm gonna have to start barbecuing my chihuahuas here soon, man. It's getting bad. I mean, I've picked poor Bob to death back here, so there ain't nothing left on him. So
it used to be I could take a $20 bill, go out, get cigarettes,
21?
gas,
What's
a pack of beer, maybe a couple of sandwiches at Subway or Burger King, McDonald's, what have you, and still have change to go home and eat and have fun. Have a six pack of beer and a package of cigarettes, and then my car's filled with gas.
Some old lady, and I see it in my store, and I'm going to tell the world about this shit. There's an old lady that came through our store, and she was practically in tears because she was afraid to buy something because she didn't have money due to her Social Security or whatever. But she was literally in tears. She was buying $2 worth of lunch meat, $1 worth of cheese. You know what I mean? She couldn't buy the cheapest ground meat, you know what I mean? Because that's going off at $3.89
at least $3 a pound for ground beef, yeah.
Easy. And she's in tears. And it's not just her. I feel bad for the old people because they're getting screwed on Social Security. And he just jacks them. How are these people supposed to eat? They can't. I'll tell you what I did, though. I said, come on, let's go shopping. I was on my lunch. I said, let's go shopping. And I bought her food. I bought her groceries for her. You know what I mean? And they were very little, but it came close to $80 for a little bit of stuff for her to eat. Now, ain't that freaking ridiculous? It just bothers me.
It's pretty bad right now. It's pretty bad right now. I mean, I went the other day. I was up at Claiborne Hill, and I got some friends want to come out, so I figured I'd pick up a whole thing of T-bones, some porterhouses actually. So I was like, yeah, and I seen them on sale for $6.99 a pound. I was like, Jesus, that's like free. And I mean, really, and so this particular store, they have some kind of hookup with the local beef people, so they get really good deals on fillets. Are usually you can catch them on sale for $9.99. It's usually comes out to like $30 or $40 a half. You get nice steaks at them. The ribeyes come out, they come on sale for usually $6.99, so sometimes $5.99. So people, I'm telling you, no, I'm not telling you where it is because I don't want y'all going to buy these people out.
What's your secret,
no. But no, because I know a lot of locals listen to us. No, it's all Black Angus, good beef. It's really good. It's good stuff. Fortunately for me, and it's one of the advantages of living in the deep south. A lot of the stuff is local. The chicken, the pork, a lot of the vegetables are all local. We're not importing near as much as the rest of the country is.
Yeah.
We don't even have to wait for them California avocados. We have our own. We have strawberries, bananas. It's just.
I can't. Avocados, they suck.
What are you talking about? That's it. You're fired, man. Get the hell out of here, man.
I
Man.
could not eat an avocado like a regular fruit, but I can cut it up and turn it into a guacamole, no problem.
I don't give a shit. Avocado is
Oh,
nasty.
y'all both fired, man. That's it.
But
Y'all
yes, I
fired.
agree. By themselves, they're nasty. But you chop it up with a little bit of pepper and a little bit of pico de gallo and some just a little bit of spice, and use it to dip chips in. It's pretty good, and it's actually good for you.
Never. I won't say what I think it looks like when it's mashed up.
Oh,
We're on
man.
live radio.
It's
You know
good
what I mean?
stuff, man. Oh, my God. Anyway, let me go. Wait, who sent me this? What about Amelia Earhart? Amelia Earhart's plane possibly located.
Yeah.
Well, they say they found her body a couple of months ago.
Did they find it? Well, I mean, where is it?
Allegedly, they found bones or something, either clothing or something to the effect that essentially identified her remains somewhere out in the Polynesian islands.
Yeah.
I didn't they have they found her last recording on her radio or on her plane when she. I don't believe.
Well, these days I'm not real trusting of a lot of stuff, so I hate to be like that.
Depending on her flight path, she either crashed on a deserted island and lived out her life if she survived the crash, or she landed in the ocean. She survived a few days before dying of dehydration and sinking to the bottom of the ocean.
Sharks and being eaten by sharks,
and possibly being eaten by sharks or other large sea creatures.
So
yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna have to get serious now. Medvedev, you know who Medvedev is, right? You know who he is.
Medvedev.
Whatever the hell his name is. Slap his dumb ass in the face.
Yeah.
Putin's number 2. So he says Texas could be poised to launch a civil war in the United States. And it would be prime time for Russia to come and take over.
You watch Red Dawn. That's in the original Red Dawn, the first movie. That's how the Russians took over America. Is they came in from the south with Mexican troops with Russian advisors, and from the south or from the north through Canada with their Russian troops. They met in the middle in that little town in Colorado.
If any state could start a revolution, it would be Texas. But nobody wants a revolution in the country. Nobody's that mad. The Republicans and the liberals are pissed off at each other right now, but not to the point that they want to go killing each other. They're just not there. What do you mean, Jackie? No, they're not interested in bumping each other off. It's just not where we are as a nation. It's not. Just before 9/11, it's the closest.
We were almost to that point. Yeah.
Well, just before that, I never seen this country this close to a revolution. That was the closest I've ever seen. Right now, we're not that close.
A race war than a civil war.
I don't know. Well, but we were in for some shit, and then, but anyway, we managed to get through that because we got distracted by the towers coming down and the wars. So now we're headed back there, but we're not where we were then. We're all just aggravated, is what it is. Biden has become a joke. As it doesn't matter who you look at around the world. Sometimes my liberal friends go, "Oh no, he's done so well." I'm like, "Really, dude? Really?"
By what measure? Right.
I said, "Do you know Putin is sitting in his chair at night laughing his ass off?" I said, "The only reason Xi Jinping is because Donald Trump did so much damage with sanctions before he left. He's bankrupt."
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But even he's laughing at Biden. Goes, "Good thing Biden's here, not Trump." I said, It's
we got Lieutenant Dan in the office.
Everybody who told me that Trump was embarrassment, this is like 4 times as embarrassing that Trump could ever be. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Look, you want to have a president that's an embarrassment to the country and a laughingstock of the rest of the world, who our enemies are afraid of, or do you want to have a president that is a buffoon and the rest of the planet isn't afraid of, and is also the laughingstock of the planet? Who do you want?
Well,
I'd rather have a president we can make fun of, who's our enemies are afraid of.
But
go Nikki Haley.
Go ahead.
Go Nikki Haley.
Oh, Nikki, that lesbian bitch. That lesbian bitch. We're not. She's Nikki. Nikki, yeah, okay, children, what time? It's early still.
Like Hillary Clinton, but worse.
If any children are listening, please close your ears at this point of the show, or go get your mother a Coke or something.
Hillary Clinton or Hillary Clinton, yeah.
Nikki's, no, I ain't gonna say it, no, but still. Anyway, no, I like Nikki in the beginning, just like I liked Hillary in the beginning, but Nikki's turned out to be a little.
She keeps sending my cell phone text messages, and my text message machine keeps flagging it as spam and setting it off like in another box, so it doesn't destroy my phone. So I haven't read any.
What do you mean Nikki should be Donald? You mean Donald's? Okay, look, we've explored this.
No.
Okay, so we want so
she's one of them.
So Nikki's Donald. I don't. First off, she might help with some women vote, but I don't think she's going to bring as much women vote to Trump as you think. I think if he could get lucky and get DeSantis on his VP, he would win with a sweep. Democrats like DeSantis for some reason. They do.
Hot chicks.
How about Christy Noem, Joe? Christy Noem.
Well, I don't know, but the reason DeSantis is having so much trouble in the election.
No. The one from one of the Dakotas.
South Dakota.
Christy Noem.
Oh, I thought, okay, because what's his name? That Chris, what's his name from New Jersey? That big dude.
No. One is easy on the eyes. The other is big on the eyes.
He's a very large man.
One's crispy Kreme, and then one's not. No, I mean
that's it right there. One's crispy.
No. One's Krispy Kreme. The other one eats it.
Yes.
Or one is Krispy Kreme and one is Victoria's Secret. Pick one.
Yeah. Pick a choice. No, Ray. I mean, DeSantis is good, but he's not a good speaker. That's his problem. He would actually he could have actually took this away from everybody, but he doesn't see.
If he were to take a one term with President Trump as vice president, and he will learn the chops to be president, and he'll know how to stand, how to speak, and how to present his voice.
It doesn't matter how good a president you are if you can't speak smoothly. America don't want you. They're like, get out of here. We want presidents that are smooth when they talk. Even when we know they're lying to us, we still want them to be talking not like
Who was our last stammering president?
So actually,
president?
Clinton gave good speeches. Reagan gave good speeches. Obama gave good speeches. Even stupid.
Go back. You're going the wrong direction. No, our last stammering president was Gerald Ford.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I said.
He fell up and down the stairs to the.
But that's because that stupid bastard didn't think he was ever going to be president. All of a sudden, he's like, "Oh shit, what the hell just happened?"
Yeah,
it's like, man, I didn't want to be president. People, no, this is not. I didn't want this job.
Yeah,
shit.
It was kind of thrust upon him.
Yeah, I kind of feel for the guy, but it's just what happens. But anyway, America wants a president or a candidate that can speak smoothly. It's one of Nikki's problems is she's got kind of a harsh voice. She needs to learn. What she needs to do is she needs to get her own sound team and start bringing them with her and using a nice sound system where you go. Cause you can always sound good.
Or she could hire like a Hollywood actor's aide, one of those, voice actor who can help her change the pitch and tone of her voice.
Yeah. Cause she's got a scratchy kind of harsh voice.
Singing lessons will do it, anything like that.
And it's just, when you're going to get there, cause like Jeb Bush, he spoke pretty smooth. But he could only ever get 18% was the closest he could get to Trump. Now when some of the other people dropped out, he might have got more, but he was never going to get him.
Anything
Trump.
in Florida, he'd have won. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, he was another well-loved governor.
But anything outside of Florida, he wasn't going to get it.
Now, if he would have been Trump's VP, Trump would have won this time too. So certain people are going to vote for it regardless. Guys, I don't know. Trump's got to pick a VP. It's not going to be Pence. We all know that.
But does the party pick it for him? Does he get to choose it, or does the party pick it?
Yeah, he gets to choose.
Yeah, he gets to choose. The party can kiss his ass. He wants to. Okay, all right. Let's be honest. The party's got a lot to say with this, but in the end, it's his choice. Finally, he goes, "Okay, this is what I want. This is who I'm going to get." It would be nice to see a female in there. It really would.
No.
But somebody that is good, not somebody like who that's currently sitting in the VP spot. I mean, someone that can actually speak, and if the country did go blunk, she could actually run the freaking place. But who is that? The only woman I currently know is Condoleezza Rice. Is the only one I know that could run the country.
She's not running. She won't run.
I know, but she's the only one I can think of right offhand that has the skills to actually get up there. She would be the best president the country ever seen.
Yeah,
I
she
think
would be
would be
awesome.
very good. candidate.
Everything she ever touched turned to gold. She's probably the only reason George Bush didn't end up in prison or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's well, he also had dun, 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 Darth Cheney.
He's
So,
scary, mother. He's scary.
he
That
looked.
Yeah,
dude
he
was
just came up in
scary.
the news recently,
He's
didn't
half
he?
dead and he's still scary. Yeah, he's still alive, but he's still scary. I mean, come on. The man had his heart replaced and went to work like 3 days later. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
It was
Really?
replaced with a pig's heart too.
Yes, evil bastard that he is.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe that pig had a demonic entity in it, and got to the heart and shit.
Let me tell you what.
I-
No, if anything got infected, he infected the damn pig's heart.
Yeah.
He was already demonic. He's an evil bastard. Look at his daughter. Come on, look, just you know what bothers me is you would have thought Cheney would have liked Trump. I mean,
Yeah.
he's kind of guy. You would have thought he would have liked Trump. I guess because Trump picked on his little baby, fat ass daughter. He didn't like it, but
Yeah.
Hey,
oh man,
she got spanked in Wyoming, man.
yeah, she did because everybody looked at her like, "What are you stupid?" Trump's, Trump. Well, guys, Trump's going to win unless he goes. Okay, we'll go through all of this real fast. So it looks like Georgia's not going to make it before the election. There's all kind of investigations going on down there, and there's other shit going on. And then one of Trump's allies, popped up out of nowhere, who's got other stuff that's involved in this case. It's kind of makes Trump look innocent. So that's got to come in somewhere. They just dropped. I think it was DC or somewhere. They just dropped 3 cases. I don't know. Florida doesn't look like it's going to get there either. New York's going to be the first one that actually goes to trial. And, we don't know how long that's going to drag on for. And most of that's just really more about money. And it's everybody's already said if he loses, they're going to appeal it anyway. They're going to get an appeal is what they're saying. So, what I don't understand about the Democrats is why give him an appeal? Why did you not put up a judge and a district attorney that had not said anything about Trump and just let them run it? And this way, I mean, the judge hated on Trump in the first time he won. And then the second time he was running, both those 8 years, he hated on Trump all over the place. And then all of a sudden, so did this district attorney. But yet, you're going to let him prosecute? Any way you look at that, it's unfair. There's no way they can say they were just partial to it. So I'm just thinking, well, and then 2 judges in New York have already said more than likely we're going to give him an appeal. And then one of the federal judges said, I don't understand. This judge is not an estimator. I don't understand an appraiser. What the hell's going on? And then it's work. Oh, and that's something else that got dropped up there because somebody a bunch of the cases because the bank said, no harm, no foul. That's what it is. So he paid back everything. No one was hurt in any of this. And then he got lucky in the $83 million case because he's getting an appeal because they're showing that there was no real harm done to her in any shape, form, or fashion.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So it's actually in our tag somewhere, from what we posted today. But
I did not know that.
Things seem to be worming more towards him, and then every poll I've seen pretty much has Trump annihilating him. And then I love this. So this radio station for NBC, they're going on and on and on and on about how they're so close and blah 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 blah. So I call in and I'm acting like a liberal. I'm like, yeah, it's so close, isn't it? I'm like, damn. I said, but I got a question, man. I'm real nervous. But he's like, oh, what is it? What is it? I said, this Kennedy guy, isn't he still running? He's like, oh yeah, but he's not a threat. Don't worry about him. I said, well, last time I seen he was pulling 17% of the vote. I said, that pretty means no Democrat can win, right? And the guy's like, oh no, he don't worry, he's not going to run. I'm like, well, why hasn't he stepped out if he's not going to run? He's making me nervous, man. I said, because when you put him in a poll, not only does Biden don't win, it's a murder, it's a slaughter. I'm like, and he's like, oh well, but I think the Democrats are going to make sure he doesn't run. I'm like, okay. And then I just, I got off the phone. I'm thinking, yeah, he's probably right. They probably are going to make sure he didn't run. Fucking drop him off of a tank somewhere, off a bridge oh look, a snowbank. Oh, he didn't see it. Went off the bridge. Damn it.
Yeah,
another Kennedy bite. You know what? America's
Kennedy
yeah, we're used to it. We'll just be like, man, it's another Kennedy bites the dust. That's 4 now.
Could you imagine? Were you the one? Somebody was saying this might have been you, Joe. I can't remember, but could you imagine if Trump won and then put Kennedy in charge of the CIA?
I didn't say that.
Oh God.
That was
Oh wow.
Maybe you didn't say that. Somebody was saying that. Could you imagine?
That would be great. I think Trump could work with Kennedy. And I haven't really heard Kennedy coming out on Trump too hard. Now, what happens if Kennedy decides to pick an independent as a VP? Oh, shit. It's murderized. There won't have not been a loss that bad for anybody in a long, long time. I mean, he would pull he would pull independents and Democrats. I don't know what the Democrats would do. They would just be like, well, and this would be a good election for Michelle Obama to run then. Because everybody keeps saying she's going to jump in and Joe Biden's going to give her delegate points. I'm not exactly sure. So that would be some kind of foul called here that not by the Republicans, but by the Democrats, because they'd be, well, wait a minute now. If we were going to have delegates, why didn't Kennedy stay in? And why all of a sudden you're going to just hand it over to Obama and not tell anybody in the beginning that there was actually a race going on? I think a lot of people are going to crowd foul. So besides, I actually don't think she can win. I don't.
No, she couldn't win.
She's pretty unhated, and plus I've noticed since it came out that where she says something about this is the first time she's ever been proud of America. That speech has been running nonstop all over the place. It's no, Jimmy.
I don't think she's interested anyway. I think
no, because I think she's scared she might get assassinated. Is what I think. So you know why? Yeah. Colin Powell, they asked him one day. Because they wanted him bad to run. They figured he could be black first. And they begged and begged and begged. And finally, one day, I forgot where he was at. No, he wasn't on Anderson Cooper. He was on NBC. Then he finally said, you know what, really, why I don't want to win? He said, why? He said,
"What is Tonight Show?"
Yeah, he said, I don't want to be the first black man to be president and be assassinated while I'm president.
Yeah.
He said, I don't feel comfortable enough. And he said, think of my position where I'm at and what I know. He said, I don't feel comfortable enough to be president of the United States. He thought he'd be assassinated. And Condoleezza Rice kind of felt the same way. But Condi, she could run this country while sleeping and doing her nails, man. It's what do you mean, Jack? No, she's an evil bitch too. She's just a smart evil bitch. Yes. She knows how to be an evil bitch without actually showing she's an evil bitch. Yes. She just tells other people how to go kill people for it. It's not like that.
Nah.
She's actually a very nice lady from what I hear compared to all the other politicians. What you've seen as soon as Bush was over, she got out of politics. She said, no, I don't want to do this. I'm out of here. Well, companies were offering her so much more money than she could make in politics. I mean, what she got off the NFL for them 2 years, she made more of the NFL in 2 years than I think she made her entire life for every year.
I don't even think she went on the college circuit. You know,
she just
national speeches or whatever. I don't think she even did that.
She was doing negotiations for them. Well, yeah, she was doing negotiations for them, and then another company hired her to do them. And then I don't know what happened to her. She was up in Canada somewhere doing something. But the kind of money. Yes, the kind of money she makes is just ridiculous. I mean, and you never hear nothing about it. Yeah. She's teaching?
Institution. Yeah, she's doing some teaching. I think she's also at the Hoover Institution as well.
That's good. It means she's comfortable in what she's doing.
Yeah.
What do you mean she was a bitch? I'm sure she was. If she had to put up with baby Bush, I'm sure you would be too, that whiny ass little bastard.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm sure doing the tax, she's probably going, now, Bush, you better grow us that here.
Let's see what the news has to say.
You know?
And Condoleezza Rice urges fellow Republicans to support Ukraine. He's a keynote speaker at Pepperdine Associates Dinner. That's college. She holds 3 degrees.
Yeah, she's
expert
on Russian stuff.
Yeah, she's got a CBS interview here where she talks about the indictments on Trump.
What the hell is this? Who sent me this? F-4 Phantoms, the strategic secret weapon U.S. readers should know about, Part 3. What the Phantoms are strategic? They're big rocks today.
They're like ancient.
They're big rocks. I mean, maybe they use it. I don't know. I know just recently.
It's like the Iranians use them, right?
Yeah, and just recently a set of Raptors flew up underneath and was just flying underneath, and freaking idiot Iranians didn't even know they were there.
Is that a Grumman plane too, isn't it? The F-4 Phantom is made by Grumman.
Probably. A lot of them planes back there were made by Grumman. So again, NASA, by the way, has said they have found their 5th habitable planet now. So is anybody living there? I don't know, but there's supposedly
Probably, but will never say.
Yeah. North Korea fires multiple cruise missiles. So watch this. Y'all want to see how funny this is going to be. So here you go. North Korea fires multiple cruise missiles. The day Trump becomes president, you will probably never see another missile fired.
It will stop.
He scared him. He really thought the entire time he was there that Trump was going to assassinate him. And maybe he was. I did notice so a bunch of Putin's older advisors and some of his oligarch friends are saying that he is becoming increasingly paranoid daily.
No kidding.
So that's never a good thing when you have 5,800
drugs he's not taking that he should be taking, or because of the drugs he is taking.
I mean, the man has 5,800 nukes under his fingers. So I mean, Jesus, it's something we have to always consider.
More than just nukes. He's got troops and planes and boats and.
I'm not really worried about his troops. From what I'm seeing in the Ukraine, first off, his people don't want to fight. And think about it like this. And people, a friend of mine got really mad at me about this the other day when I said this, but think about it like this. The Russians don't want to fight the Ukrainians. Do you really, really think they want to fight the Americans?
Oh, hell no.
They don't have nothing to do with it. They watched what we did in Iraq. They watched what we did in Afghanistan. They don't. It's just
15 minutes to destroy all of the Iranian or whatever Air Force in the opening moments of that conflict. 15 minutes. That's amazing.
Well, the Ukrainians have already knocked a hole in their air defense so they can get all the way to Moscow now flying shit. And that's the Ukrainians. That's not a squadron of F-35s or F-22s. That's not the eye in the sky watching. They're dancing out. It's
basically like Alabama attacking Washington.
Joe, they had some help. They had some help.
State of Alabama.
Oh, yeah, they did have some help. They did have some help.
Yes, they did.
B-21 Raiders. I mean, come on. Just the best thing you can do with the United States is leave us alone. There's no way. I don't care who you are. Even China knows. Just leave us the best thing, because China was getting all uppity. And I noticed China kind of backed down a little bit because our general started putting shit all up in the China seas and running things through Taiwan. And they got nervous that by accident, something might accidentally hit one of our ships, because they had these big famous new carrier busters they had, right? Come to find out, because of some of the new weapons we added to the carriers, oh shit, they don't work.
Yeah,
back to the drawing board.
You put that many men and boats and planes in the water, in the air, someone's going to have an itchy finger and something can happen.
Well, yeah, and they know that. So the best thing they just figured, the best thing to do is just to back off a little bit. Besides, they're having really big financial problems. So keeping a fully funded military out there. And then it comes out of the middle government in China that Xi Jinping don't trust his military.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't hear that.
Yes. Oh, it's in several newspapers I saw it, or several articles I saw. So they're saying he doesn't directly trust it, and he's not directly in control of the military.
Look back at
he's only in control of he's control of the Congress. Yeah. So all Xi Jinping controls is the Congress, just like the president does. The other people control everything else. So, they got a pretty big military not to be in control of it. But then there's the other problem. China has a bad problem of building crappy products, just like Russia does. Too much corruption. See, in the United States, it's corruption like at the yin yang, but we cover our asses on it. So we said, we know, all right, there's going to be X amount of corruption, but we still have to have outstanding quality. So by doing so, triple the price. Okay, like you heard how much it cost to flush the toilet system out on the space station. Did y'all hear about that?
No.
So if it gets one clog, because it's a pressure system, it clogs all the tanks up. It's $400,000 every time they have to do it.
Oh,
wow. Shit into space.
So they have to do it at least once a month.
Oh my God.
So
it's just to flush poop into space, and it costs.
Well, it gets clogged up. Actually, somebody up there must be eating the wrong products or something. I don't know, but it's when you hear prices like that, or the guy was showing one of the space toilets is $45,000. Okay. I understand the pressurized systems, but what the hell? I have seen some high-end toilets in my time. I've even had my company install some, but $45,000. We had a guy had one with 18-karat gold feathers. He had two different debates. Had
Seriously?
two different. Oh yeah, had heat and settings on it. Man, this thing would warm up your butt while you were sitting. The seat was warming and shit. The back was warming. I mean, this thing was just a beast. I mean, you probably fall asleep taking it. Anyway. And I think that one was somewhere around 15 G's. And now, of course, they don't go to space. I said, but so, but really, I mean, after you make the first one, you get the mold and everything. Why does the other ones cost $45,000 each? It's like when we busted them for the $85,000 hammers, really. And what hammer what kind of hammer was that? Was that like some latinum with some platinum? I'm just saying, what the frick kind of, I don't know, people. Some of this shit was just too funny. But anyway, to make the point, our government already knows this, so we pad it so that we can still get excellent quality and still allow whoever's stealing whatever to steal, whoever's got to get their little fingers in it, get their fingers in it. Russia and China don't have that kind of money. So unfortunately, these people still got to get their money, so it comes out of the quality of their ships. I mean, that junky carrier there, first off, the one they got from Russia, they should just go make it a coral reef somewhere. That would be the best thing. That would be the best thing they could do with that carrier, because we're going to sink that bitch. The first time it sticks its nose out of somewhere, bloop, it's going to be gone. And we'll probably send one of our old junkie carriers out there to sink it. It's just, or we might send India, because India has Russian carriers. We might send them over there to sink it, but it's too funny. And then China's supposed to be state of the art carrier is kind of like a Nimitz class. It's I don't know. It doesn't. Currently, we have 22 carriers. We have 10 big carriers in the fleet sailing all the time. We're supposed to have 11, and they're going to put that up to 12. And then we have all these other weird ass Harrier carriers and other jump carriers and things like these around. But
looks
still
kind of small. Chinese carrier looks kind of small.
It is. Well, it's like I said, it's like a Nimitz class. It's not like a Ford class.
Nimitz class had 2 launch areas. This thing has 1.
Oh, well, then it's even smaller than that. Then
There's 1 launch area. That's it. Doesn't have that.
Oh no, Jack. No, Jackie. I didn't get to serve in the Nimitz. I served in Old Salty. Yeah, that's who I served. Old Salty. The Nimitz.
You have to be on the Nimitz, though.
I was on the Nimitz. Yeah, I was on the Nimitz. Actually, the carrier wasn't called the Old Salty. The reactor was called Old Salty. Yes, that's what its name was. Yes, no, it's not classified. Anyway, getting back to some other stories. No, I mean, there's just a lot going on. So for Trump, so like I said, it doesn't look like Georgia, Florida is going to be a thing. I don't know. I don't even know if DC is going to make it. And they're saying it could even be possible with this thing with the Supreme Court that all the DC charges may get knocked out. So there's that's also, I forgot that they dropped them. They're off the ballot in DC right now. They've been removed off the ballot. They were scheduled for March. They've been taken off the ballot. So there's Trump's case in DC.
Oh, wow.
So standing right now, Georgia's not going to make it. Florida's not going to make it. It might not be DC.
Wait, he's off the ballot for voting, or he's off the docket?
No, the docket. Docket. I said ballot, didn't I? Yeah, docket.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not off the ballot. He's off the docket. And as far as I can see, I know Wisconsin was one of the states that said hold on, and some other state up there.
Yeah, I
said
think
they're waiting to see.
Iowa, I thought I read up on it. Said they were going to take him off the ballot for the election, and then they second guessed it and said they're going to. They're not going to do that. That's smart.
Well, I read the 14th Amendment. It clearly says you have to be prosecuted of a crime.
Yeah, I think anyone who pulls him off the ballot, any state,
is breaking the law.
Yeah, the Supreme Court's going to renege all of that.
It's political suicide, is what it is.
And so now they're telling Mr. Cali governor out there, if he don't get that gun law straight, he might find his ass in jail. Because the Supreme Court overrode him on the gun law, and then he went ahead and acted anyway. And everybody's like, "No, you can't do
what's
that."
The gun law he acted on?
That it was where guns couldn't go. And I hate to say this though, a lot of the places he didn't want guns going, I actually agreed with, but still, it got overturned by the court. The court said, "No, you can't do that. You can't." It was too wide of a range, is what the problem was. See, down here, you can carry your gun everywhere, but you're not supposed to bring it in a church, even though there's not a law against it. There will be sooner or later, but there isn't one right now. You can't. Casinos, no. There actually is a federal and state law about carrying your gun in a casino. You will get in trouble for that. Of course, you can't bring it in a police station. No federal buildings at all.
Yeah, courthouses.
Yeah, I walked in with mine one day. The guy had a heart attack. I said, whoa, dude, I forgot I had it in my boot. I said, I'll go put it in my car. He got freaked out. And So places like that, bars are a no.
Yeah, you can't.
No,
Any
no.
place that serves alcohol where you can consume it, you can't bring the gun.
Yeah.
To.
So
Public events like a football game, baseball game, high school football, soccer, whatever.
yeah. Well, high school down here and football and all that, you can't bring it to like the Superdome. But you can bring it. But even in the college games, it's still a no too. Even though there's not actually a law, it's still a no. But that's it. And I agree. And you're not supposed to bring it in banks. But I found out there's not actually a law about you carrying your gun into the bank, which I was surprised about.
In cowboy times, everybody had a gun on them, just about, and they were in line at the bank with guns on them, which is why most of the time, there are bank robberies in the Western times, but most of the robberies occur on the pathways, on the roads. So they're attacking the payrolls on stagecoaches because there's less security, and you're not confined into a building.
Yeah. So what's that, Jimmy? No, more and more as we got more modern, we didn't want people carrying guns here and there, and I'm fine with it. At schools, you shouldn't carry your gun into school. No, I'm not saying they shouldn't be armed security in school.
Why do you think that there are shootings in places? There are shootings in places where there are not guns. If we hired qualified, you got to put these guys through strict psychological makeovers and.
Well, what they did
make sure they're accurate with their handgun fire. But if you put armed, well-trained guards in our schools, school shootings would reduce to the point where maybe no deaths. But
don't they have them on many airplanes with the air marshals?
Yeah, they do.
You never know. There's an
right. I mean, you're in the air. You're in the sky.
They are undercover. You won't know. The stewardess will know. The captain of the plane will know, but you're not going to know.
Yeah, and a lot of times the captain of the plane don't know.
Sometimes
you don't have to
don't.
be told. No, sometimes they don't. They're not there. No, sky marshal guys. That's just somebody who they fly in random flights. They're usually
United States Marshal Service.
It's usually bigger flights. You'll usually find them like 727 flights or 747 flights, stuff like that. The smaller planes you don't see them as much, but they do fly them. It's really for them. It's about moving around, and they carry a handgun.
Federal hydroshock bullets. They're proven to not penetrate the skin of the ship and cause giant disasters.
No, even doing when 9/11 happened, they had marshals on board the planes then too. They've always had them on board the planes. It's been part of the marshal service for as long as I can remember, but they can't be on every plane. Have you ever looked and seen how many planes they have in the sky at one time? There's literally thousands of them. Yeah, so you can't have a marshal on every plane, and it wouldn't right anyway the way things move around. So it works pretty good. I mean, I've actually seen them in action before. There's lots of videos of them having to take people down in the plane. Like the woman who slapped a black guy in the face twice, and the black guy just said really and slapped the living crap out of her and knocked her on her ass.
I saw that, yeah.
And and everybody wanted to get mad at him, like, why? I'm like, she went out of her way to slap. I'm like, look, I wouldn't even gave you the second slap. The first slap, I'd have slapped the crap out of you. I've always had the same rule for anybody. You don't put my hands on you, I don't put my hands on you. That's don't touch me, I don't touch you. It's a simple concept. It is, people. It's a simple concept.
So, wow, check this out, Joe. There are 5,193 public airports in the U.S.
Yeah, get you. I use Airport Monitor to track, live flights around the U.S., not just here, around the world for that matter. We use them for tracking UFO sightings because I have a JPL's track, so JTrack is what it really is. So what you can do is if someone calls into us and says, hey, we saw something at this time at this place, I can go on JTrack and see if it was a satellite, rule out a satellite. I can also go on Airport Monitor, and Airport Monitor will go backwards up to 1 year. So I can go back to whatever time it was and look and see if there was actually a flight there. So if I can rule out there's no flights and there's no satellites, okay, then we know it's something else. Then we can start looking at it a little bit more seriously as maybe it's a UFO of worth looking into. But a lot of times we find out, you can also track Venus and stuff like that. The 3 programs I use allows you to, in real time, knock out, either make a sighting, a real sighting, or knock it out of the sky. And we're one of the few groups that use them. Well, MUFON's scared to use them because half their sightings would go away, Jimmy Lee. Yes. Mm. Yes. No, look, I'm the one who busted them on Stevensville. They're still mad at me about Stevensville. Now I busted them on other stuff besides that, but Stevensville was just so bad for them.
And they've had quite a few of their members busted on other.
Good. And then the most likely stuff will just disappear from their server.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. So when I was with him, I was friends with. I met Walt Anders a long, many moons ago, and because of something that Linda had sent to him, and he took a big interest into us and into the cases. And then when I started working for him as a I was an investigator at first, and then Linda was doing research analysis, and we were just doing a lot of research for him. Well, every time I'd send in a group of stuff, I'd ask, has anybody reviewed it, or can I get some feedback, or can I look at some other data to see if somebody else's data matches ours? Well, it was like, I don't even know if they were keeping this shit. And then I found out from Walt Anders that a bunch of the stuff was put in the cardboard boxes and was sitting on his garage floor at his house. I was like, what? So that wasn't even accessible. And then when we formed ICAR and got the radio station, a bunch of our directors and our hosts said, look, we will help you take everything you have in paper and put it to disk and just give it to you. I said, we won't even make a copy for ourselves. I said, I will put it in writing. I said, we'll give you everything back on a disk just so, paper. Shit happens to paper. And we were actually going to put a disk. We were going to put it on thumb drives. And they said no. And still to this date, from what I understand from the people I know there, it's still, that data is still not on anything. Yeah, no, they got websites, and I know I still have a lot of friends over there. With this new director, I've never met him, never talked to him. All the rest of them I've met and talked to. I like being places where I know that we're in it for honesty and truth, and not for what can I tell the Fed. I've said before, if the government asks me, I'll tell them. I've never lied about that, but it'll be on my standards, not theirs. I mean, on my terms, not theirs. Yes. Anyway, enough about that. So yeah, it's looking like out of the five cases against Trump, looks like 3 of them for sure will not probably make it for election time, maybe 4. And the New York thing, most people are just laughing about the New York thing. So that won't hurt him. So if these don't go, he's going to murderize Biden. I mean, even the people who said he wouldn't vote for him if he was found guilty won't have anything to bitch about. He will murderize Biden. And Dean, yes, he will just. Yeah, no, it's a doggy thing to do. Well, no, he needs to wait until the end of his term, because if not, they're going to try to impeach him, and then take everything away and say, okay, I give myself immunity for all of this. Ta-da! No, they can't take it back. And then besides, it'll probably be if he does even a decent job, it'll probably be a Republican government, because who do they got? They got Michelle Obama. Comey's not going to run because he sucks. Newsom got spanked by Santos, and Santos, he sucks. I don't know. They don't have anybody. The only good guy they had, they made become an independent.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you never know who's going to come up. Maybe it'll be, what's that big black girl? What's her name? Oh no, she left and became a Republican. I forgot. Never mind. She said the hell with y'all. So I want to talk about this for a few minutes. So I had some friends, and I had heard about this before, but I got some friends that work for Apple. You know, Apple. Y'all know who Apple is, right? Apple's located in California,
company, right?
Yeah, big fruity company. Anyway, they work out here. They're out in California. Pays big taxes to Cali. We're talking, whoa, man. Probably support San Diego. Right? So a couple of days ago, about a week ago, they had a meeting. They told all their employees, well, guess what? If you want your job, you will have to move to Texas, because you know what? We're the bleep out of California, and they're leaving.
Really?
Even after they built that massive headquarters,
They have a huge complex up there. I mean,
it's massive.
Look, I was just as stunned. I was looking. I said, maybe it's a hoax. Maybe it'll come back as something else. And then the next day, I seen another article. I was like, oh, come on.
The whole operation, everything.
So then when I talked with Randy, he said, no, it's true. They told us that we want to keep our jobs. And but you know what? Everybody forgot. SpaceX and Tesla had huge complexes in California, and they just said F them and moved to Texas. They're
in Texas now too.
Yeah, it's
wow.
Well, one of the guys said they will pay about 10% of the tax that they're paying to California. So that means raises for everybody.
No, it just means cheap, and they'll get cheaper labor too.
Yeah, it is
right,
cheaper
in
labor in
Texas.
Texas. Yeah, not that
Mm.
much cheaper than Texas. Texas people are kind of greedy. they used to live in the high life in Texas, man. There's a lot of people. Tell you what, 20, 30 million in Texas now. Actually, if everybody keeps from California moving there, Texas will pass it. Texas wasn't due to pass California for 15 years, but at this rate, it may happen sooner.
Hey, Sean, what's the is there a big turnaround from Democrat to Republican in California now? Is it?
No, there are no I mean, there are Republicans in California, but it's so corrupt. It's been a one-party state for
For a
20,
long
30.
time.
Yeah. There's no. I mean, there is a Republican Party here, but they're not really.
I think in the last presidential, and don't hold me to this, I think there was 36%, and they said that was high. So,
Well, there's plenty of like the Republican people on the right. They don't live in the cities, right? They all live out in the Central Valley and
yeah.
up in the mountains.
Oh,
and,
speaking of that, who was it? One of the states said they want to change the way they do their votes, and they want to make it like an electoral college. They said because they're tired of just three cities dictating what the whole state. So I forgot what state it was, but 90% of the state counties voted red. Only 3 counties voted blue. So they're kind of like, well, look.
Yeah,
so
that's like every state, right? It's like
so,
I mean,
so they're kind of
could
like,
apply to
well,
California, could apply to Pennsylvania, could apply to.
So they're kind of like, well, we don't want them 3 cities dictating what happens to the rest of the state. So they really want to put an electoral college in for the states. Boy, that would just get things complicated. Oh my God, it'd be interesting but complicated. What was that? Don Juan. Oh God. It's no, I don't. It would be complicated. It would be interesting, but it would be complicated.
I think it's going to be a complicated election anyway. How we look at it. Oh, what's going on?
We lost Sean. Where's Sean at? There's Sean. Okay.
I think he just turned his camera off. There he is.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see what all this pans out to be. Yeah, Jimmy, I seen. Hold on, where did you see it? What was that? Oh yeah. Oh, and let's talk about this for a minute. So Putin formally asked for Alaska back, right?
Yeah.
Really? When?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he said the deal we effed him out of Alaska.
He wasn't even involved in the deal.
No, he said that we effed them, whoever it was, Soviet Union, whoever the hell at the time it was.
How long ago was that?
No, it wasn't even the Soviet Union.
No,
it was
1867. Yeah, I know it was like the Tsars.
1860. What the hell is he talking about?
He said, but it was like the Tsar. But he said we cheated them because we got it for like 1 cent an acre. He said we cheated them, which we probably did. So I mean, ain't no way we're giving it back. We're not giving it back. Well, it ain't useless anymore, but we're not giving it back. So it's not going to happen.
Oil and gold, what do you know? I mean,
it's what makes us the second or third largest country in the world. Without it, we wouldn't be. We'd be like 6th or 7th. Actually, there's a lot of countries. There's a lot of countries the size of the continental U.S. Brazil is. There's a bunch of countries our size, but we have Alaska, which is half the size of the continental U.S. A little more than half. Yeah, we're not giving it back.
I'm going to bring up Yemen, whatever.
Yemen, the Houthis.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
For the country Yemen?
Yeah, with the Houthis that are supposedly destroying
Houthi and the blowfish,
ships.
And they're attacking.
Like the
Houthis. Houthis.
It's there's a lot going on over there. So they're attacking us. We're attacking them. So we just did a bunch of airstrikes. Oh, and we just sent our new stealth buster over there. So we got a new ship. It's a new system actually that finds stealth vehicles. So we got it over there now, and we're going to use it and see how well this thing works. If this works like they say, they're going to deploy this thing all around the planet. Stealth will now become useless for everybody else but the United States. But I was wondering when somebody was going to come up with it. Well, long story short, a long time ago, when the X-117 stealth fighter came out, some kids, I think it was Ireland or Scotland, were sitting down near a cell phone tower when their phones started acting really strange. And guess what it was flying over? An X-117 stealth. So they learned that cell phone towers, if the stealths were flying between 500 and 1,800 feet, could be picked up by phone towers. So they used that to start using them a certain type of wave they were using, and now I guess they figured it out. We'll see. It's over there. I was reading about it today. It was deployed today. Oh, it's out for deployment. So we'll see how it does.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
just launched some strikes today.
Yeah, they've been steadily
It's like
launching strikes.
85 targets
Why
in
can't
Iraq
they just?
and Syria.
Why can't they flatten Yemen or whatever? Why can't he
Why?
just? Yeah, why just flatten them? Make them one big.
Look, we
thing
shouldn't
of
even be
glass.
blowing in poor people up. I mean, unfortunately, we're doing it because of Iran. But see, I look at this differently. I think we should just attack all of Iran's facilities and put a stop to it. And because we just keep killing people all around the place, if you take Iran out of it, they're just going to run out of weapons in a couple of weeks anyway. But we won't do that. We just keep allowing Iran to just keep rearming people. See, Trump would already dealt with this. He would have called up the Ayatollah and said, I'm going to tell you this one time, dude. There are 2 submarines parked off your coast right now. Just the next thing that happens is going to be because of you. So you either roll these people in and get them under control, or guess what's going to happen? We're going to wipe out all your production systems in your entire country and put you back into a third world nation. Do you want that to happen? And you can't say he wouldn't, because he did it to Syria while he was having dinner with Xi Jinping. The man, he got balls, I'll tell you that much. And it would be the way, and that's the only way you can handle Iran. You can't go, oh, Iran, look. Every time we Iran, somebody gets blown up. I mean, how much money did we give them under Obama? A whole pallet, what, 44 billion?
6 billion.
Yeah, it was ungodly amount of money.
I think they took it back, though. I think they found a way to like revert it or something.
I don't know. I mean, because that was so corrupt.
How could you revert all that money?
Because I think it was like Qatar was supposed to be holding it in custody, and there were certain conditions that had to be met, and then Iran started going crazy again, and we basically stopped. I mean, money's fungible. People were like, well, you got people getting on CNN saying, well, those funds were only for this distinct purpose, but they weren't for. It's just like, come on, guys. Like, if they just put money for that distinct purpose, they just repurpose another $6 billion to fund terrorism. Well, it's just the insanity of some of this stuff that people say out loud. Money is fungible.
Yeah,
So,
I don't. That whole thing, it was like, what are we doing? I mean, we don't buy back hostages, because all that does make other people want to get hostages. I mean, $6 billion is a lot of money.
I mean, that's what happened in the late 80s, right? Like, we sunk like 2/3 of their navy, and then in 1987, I think the 87 or 88, the USS Stark accidentally shot down a passenger airliner.
Yeah, I remember that.
An Iranian passenger airliner.
Yep,
and the Iranians thought we did it on purpose. And their take was it from, oh, crap, now they're serious. So,
it's a good warning, or even if it is an accident,
Yeah, but that's kind of the mentality that they have is, it's horrible what happened. We certainly didn't do it on purpose, but that's not what they thought. And they thought that was a sign that the gloves were off finally.
Yeah, I think that's the mentality of the culture. If we were going to attack them, it wouldn't be to knock one of their planes out of the air. We would, send all of our planes over the top of their planes and bomb them from above.
Well, wait, all of their planes are our planes anyway. Everything they're flying used to belong to us.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we have some sort of kill switch. We can drive by and
Well, I don't know about a kill switch, but we don't really need a kill switch. I mean, after watching,
with the technology we have now, we can destroy all of our old stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all haven't seen this video, y'all need to go watch this. So these 2 Iranian pilots are just cruising along in F-4 Phantoms, la 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 la, and then all of a sudden you see there's an F-22 off in a distance, and and then there's one right underneath the F-4. I mean, just right underneath. He's just cruising along with him. So the guy on the side of him don't even notice he's there. The guy underneath him has no idea he's there, and he just kind of rolls out in between.
Until he bugs out.
Hey, how y'all? He's like, how y'all doing? Why don't you go home? They just you see both planes go, whoosh, you just haul ass the other way. They kicked in the afterburners. Nothing like a Phantom with its afterburners on, man. At the time, Phantom was a beast. I mean, today it's not, but when it was built, it was a beast of a jet.
Yeah.
No, the Raptor is the beastiest thing we have. Screw the F-35. The Raptor is the shit. Why they don't want to build more Raptors is beyond me, because it shames the F-35.
What do they cost? Like $22 billion a piece or something like that?
Every head-to-head dogfight, the Raptor just annihilates the F-35. And think about this: the F-35 annihilates everything else on the planet, but the Raptor annihilates it, and we don't for some reason. We got enough of them. We're going to keep them around for I think 50 years or so, but for some reason we don't. And a bunch of people wanted to reproduce them, but I guess somebody over there at whatever company it was got in trouble, and they just said we're not going to give you the money. Well, in the very beginning, the F-22s were called the Widowmakers, so they killed a lot of pilots. They were really dangerous in the beginning. Well, they're all fly-by-wire. All the new jets are fly-by-wire. So, they have to be shielded because, EMP can screw up fly-by-wire. So all that stuff has to be, I hope I didn't break something there. Anyway, I think we're okay, but they have to be shielded. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, the F-117 without its computers it's ballistic. It's just a brick in the air. If you don't have those computers working,
so it was starting with that particular plane up. So the F-18 is still fly by wire, and everything below it is fly by wire, but everything above it is not fly by wire. There's no wires. It's It's just a whole different system. They're beastified. No, I didn't get to work on them because I got out the Navy before we got the F-17s. The X-117. Sorry. They were great planes. They still are great planes. We still have them. We haven't retired them yet. They big ugly things. Compared to the new stealth fighters,
Nevada, Area 52.
But you seen what they did in Desert Storm? They literally took out all of the Russian defense because that was all Russian defense
live
stuff.
on CNN. It was like watching Star Wars live on television. It was amazing.
They took out all of Iraq's defenses in AAA in no time at all. There was air superiority in less than a week, and total dominance of the entire area by air in less than 6 months. I mean, it was, and they used to brag about their big 1 million man army and all this top of the line Russian equipment, and they had top of the line Russian equipment. And you've seen. So there's a group of Avery's coming, right? This is so freaking hilarious. So you see this big tank corps just they're over, and they can fire on the rolls. So, well, of course they can, Sean, but they can fire the rolls. So they're just wiping shit out as they're cruising along. All of a sudden, you see white flags just start popping up all over the place.
Well, they didn't even in the Battle 70. Battle 73 Easting with like H.R. McMaster when he was a company commander. They didn't even see the M1s. They just started seeing their turrets popping off.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. But after that, the Iraqis started surrendering every time they saw the tanks, or the Bradleys for that matter. They just started surrendering. So, and then we were just steadily just rolling cruise. It also shows you how well. What the hell did the camera? It also shows you how well our cruise missiles really work, because this is way back. We're talking 20 something years ago now. Mm-hmm. And them cruise missiles was a beast. Just think of the technology and inventions today.
Now it's like 30 years, right? It's like 30.
It's like 30 years. I think it is. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's people, that was the first real Vietnam was the first taste of a televised war, but not like Desert Storm was. No. Desert Storm was in your living room, man, on your 70-inch TV. You're like, wow. You're sitting there with CNN going, boom, oh shit, what was that? That's when CNN.
And then you got like Schwarzkopf coming on, like just first we're going to cut him off, then we're going to kill him.
Yeah, it was insane. Well, Chris, think of this. So the Russians have lost 12 generals, maybe more than that now, lost count, but they'd lost 12 generals already in Ukraine because of stupid shit like using cell phones and certain types of radios. That's how they find it. Do you realize we had generals on the ground in Iraq, and not one of them ever came close to being in trouble? Because our generals are insane to start off with. Yes, they are. The Army generals especially, they're whacked in the head. If they want to go on the front line, you can't stop them. But no, they're not supposed to go on front lines. They're not. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, because
a good general.
Yeah, a good general is going to put himself out there because he's probably been in this shit before when he was younger. So he wants you to know, hey, look, I'm here with you. And let me tell you what, them guys will fight way the hell more if they see their boss out there on the line with them.
Yes, that's the truth.
They'll be like, well, yeah, because because it's not just the kids out there dying anymore. Well, to be honest with you, the United States isn't really a kid military, and it's hard to explain. So after 50 years of war, We have probably the most trained population for killing people in the entire world 4 times over. Think about it. A good 20% of our population now has fought in some type of war in the Middle East. And everybody else, a good another 20% have been trained to fight in wars. It's just different. It's not like Russia or China. No, China hasn't been in a real war with anybody. Who? They ain't been. The only country they ever invaded was where the Dalai Lama lived. No,
Well,
I mean,
last big conflict they had was 1979, and that was like 2 weeks, and the Vietnamese like killed 50,000 of them.
yeah,
And
it's
they
just
sent them right back out.
yeah. Well, Maddie, the Chinese stayed behind their wall for 5,000 years and left everybody alone. We went over there and bugged them. They didn't come out to find us. We went in to find them. Oh yeah, man, you just read all it's because we wanted to trade with them. We wanted to find out who they were. And still, even today, they want Taiwan back, and they do want to give themselves a buffer zone in the China Sea. But you don't see them out there trying, and they don't get in conflicts like we do. They're not spread out all over the world, blowing shit up. That's us, not them. Let's keep that shit straight. Well, Russia's just pissed off at the Ukraine because Putin thought, "Ooh, this will be easy. I'll get some brownie points. I'll roll right in and take this over like it's nothing." Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And that's all there is to it. And guess what? Here we are going, 2 years now? And still. You mean a tank squadron? I read about that the other day. So Russia rolled in whatever their best tanks were. They rolled in a whole squadron. They pulled them off the Polish line and sent them over there. And now nobody knows where they are. Some people say they've been destroyed and Russia just don't want to say it. But I would figure if the Ukraine did it, they would be out there, bragging, "Oh, we got the best tanks Russia had." Oh no, the Ukrainians have killed a lot of Russian tanks. It's kind of pathetic how many Russian tanks they've killed.
Yeah, but if a whole battalion went up in smoke, Ukraine would say
then-
so.
You would know.
So then I'm watching this invasion group of Russia again the other day, and they're on a road in a straight line, and I'm doing this. I'm going, and who's running this? I mean, really. First off, they should be grateful the United States is not in, because the Warthog would have just came along. Oh, look at this! All I'm having, they'd have had a freaking field day, man, until they were out of ammo. I don't, and this ain't the first time I've seen this. So the U.S., when they deploy anything like that, they deploy it much differently than that. What do you mean? Well, even if the U.S. had to use a single road, they would have their tanks spread out way more than that. You're not going to come in and get 2 for 1 or 3 for 1 on an American tank. That's not going to. And that's if the damn tank don't shoot your ass out of the air while you're flying around. Oh no, it's tanks ain't like they were in World War II, my friend. They have way more ordnance now than they used to have. Way different ordnance than they used to have, and they've got other systems on board. Christopher, I did hear that. I haven't seen it, but I did hear that they were developing a new tank to replace this one. But that'd be 20 years, man. Why? There's nothing wrong with the one we got. Nobody else in the world can take it on. Why? China don't have anything to take it on with.
As long as we keep maintenance on them, and when they get old, we recycle them with a new one. But yeah.
So this is a true statement. We got enough tanks to go across the entire width of China 2 times, so we could just start them all up and just keep on rolling through China, just boom, 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 boom. Give them a little air support, and it is sad. Well, it's like the B-52 bomber. So during Vietnam, we had enough B-52s that we could have lined them up wingtip to wingtip and carpet bombed the entire country if we wanted to. But we didn't. Who knows why? I know Germany keeps saying we're getting into World War III. Russia's thinking we're getting into World War II. China's thinking they're going to go invade Taiwan, which is, I don't know why they want to do that, because we can't let them have Taiwan. But, people, we don't, and I hate to say this like this, but Americans really don't give a shit what happens to Taiwanese people. What we're worried about is the American chips. We have high-end, serious chips over there that we cannot let China have. And there is supposed to be a plan in place to destroy them, but I don't think America's going to chance it. I think America will roll in and bomb the whole entire place out of existence.
Yeah, scorched earth policy. I mean, if we can't get them, we have to destroy them.
More than likely, what they'll do is they'll have an accidental nuke and blame it on China. Oh yeah, you can bet your ass. it'll have a Chinese signature on it, and it'll say that want to escape one of their ships, and yeah, that's the only thing they could do, because we can't let China have we just can't. It's a non-option for us. It's the fact that anybody was stupid enough to give it Taiwan that close to China to start off with is amazing me. And the fact that we weren't producing no chips in our country, whoever was a president that let that happen should be drawn and quartered. I mean, and whatever Congress was in control when that happened should also be drawn and quartered. I mean, who the hell thought that was a good idea, letting some of the most sensitive stuff we have out into the...
Probably Democrats.
You're getting mad,
nice.
Joe.
Yeah, well, it's because it's ignorant. Some things, when I look and you think, okay, yeah, we want to help Taiwan, but we didn't have to give them class 1 chips. We could have gave them like class 2, class 3. We didn't have to give them the chips that run the F-35s or a lot of other jets around the planet, or tanks for that matter. I mean, why would you even risk that?
Well, what about DVDs, CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays? I mean, this is groundbreaking technology. Where was it developed?
I don't know where.
Japan. When I was in college in Georgia, in Savannah, we were the East Coast test facility for Sony video cameras, and this was like 89 through 96 when I was down there doing classes. They sent us millions of dollars worth of stuff every 6, 7, 8 months to test. I mean, how do you see if your stuff is going to hold up? You give it to college students, and we got a preview of the first DVD system. It was $25,000 or $26,000 altogether. This was the early 90s. The television itself was like 15 grand. There was a converter from an AV converter from analog to digital, which was like 10 grand. The DVD player was another 12 grand. I mean, the system was amazing, but it was so expensive back then. I mean, we're talking, $100,000 just for that system.
The first Texas Instrument calculator, first off, was this big, and it cost $5,000.
Big as a book.
But now they're as big as a credit card. It costs like $2.
They're smaller than that. They have these rubber keyboards you can roll up and put them in your pocket.
So while we've been talking, I just read that yet another general in Russia, in Crimea, have been killed on an Air Force base attack. So Putin must have just needed to get rid of some generals. I mean, this must be what this war is about. How could you lose like 14 generals? I mean, that's almost like an impossibility. We went through all of World War II. I don't think we lost any. I don't know. I can't be 100% sure.
Yeah, we probably lost some.
But you
gotta give them credit though. At least they're up with their troops, right? It's not
they are. I don't.
You gotta give them credit for that.
I don't think they have a choice. I think Putin said, "You can die here, you can die there, make you freaking mind down." Putin's one probably calling him on the phone, getting him killed. hey, Jimmy, how you doing, man? Oh no, dude, you can't call me.
Hey, General Smirnov, attack this city. Boom, General Smirnov is now dead. It's the best way to get rid of your
I think if what's his face in Ukraine can take back Crimea, he may settle. He may get with Russia and try to end this war, because that's really what he wants. He wants Crimea back.
That's his goal. Yeah, he's not giving up until he gets the whole country.
I mean,
back,
I know why Russia doesn't want to give it back, because they need a Black Sea port. They don't have. And wait, just the other day, Russia says it didn't happen, but the ship disappeared. Ukraine said they sunk another big battleship in the Black Sea. I don't know what to think.
We got to have people over there.
Well, I'm confused because we have stuff. I've been watching this conflict in Israel, and we've been blowing drones out the sky left and right. I mean, all over the place. Our ships have been attacked dozens of times. We've been blowing them out. We've been blowing them out, attacking other ships, attacking our ships, attacking targets. So I'm confused on why the Russians haven't been able to do this. I'm really starting to think that there's more Russians siding with the Ukrainians than we realize, because some shit just seems unreal. I mean, we're talking a battleship here. I mean, you know how
Well, to be
thick the armor is.
to be fair, this drones we're shooting out of the sky in the Red Sea are Houthi and the Blowfish versions, right? Whereas we're the stuff that where they're shooting down, they're trying to shoot down over Russia is it's like U.S. technology, a lot faster, a lot more maneuverable.
Well, I don't know the ones that the Houthis have been getting Iranian technology. They're supposed to be pretty good. That's some of the ones the Russians have been using.
Yeah,
And Ukraine. Ukraine's getting their drones from
Shahid,
Iran
whatever.
as well.
Things are not as good as American.
Well, I agree with that. It's just
But like Houthi and the Blowfish, they just throw out like the whatchamacallit, the like cardboard, like wooden things, whatever. They're cheap to make. Like this stuff's really cheap and easy to make, but
yeah,
they're just not as sophisticated as what we have.
Well, Christopher, a lot of the ones they have are just standard drones like you would use in your yard, and it has a little clip on it that holds a bomb and it just flies over and drops it. Matter of fact, there's what they call them switchblade versions of them that you can drop and that'll take off and you can drive them for a little ways. Yeah, I've seen them on. I was watching some show the other night. They were talking about the manufacturer who makes it, and he says they make tens of thousands at a time. So yeah, drones are going to change the way war is fought. I mean, it'll save a lot of lives on the battlefield anyway.
Well, plus the Navy's got those phalanx. They got those phalanx guns.
Yeah, they do.
Shoot them out of the sky. Yeah. Like a Russian tank doesn't have that kind of. It's got anti-tank firepower, but it doesn't. Anti-aircraft stuff. It's not. They might have a Dashuka, whatever.
And they just redid
millimeter cannon or machine gun.
They added another phalanx to each carrier, and they changed something because of the hypersonic missiles that Russia had, so that they have plenty enough time to shoot one down on the way. And so we, being American stupids, we shot one of ours at the ford to see if we could shoot it down, which we did, thankfully. That was the first ship we ever did a live fire test. We actually shot a big ass warhead right next to the ship just to see how it would handle it. The damn ship didn't even notice it went off. It was like, what the hell, man? What did we build here? It's no, people, they didn't get that close now. This thing is $14 billion. Somebody might have got upset we blew some bulkheads off. But it was cool to watch. It really was. No, we got some super stuff, and we have microwave cannons on board a lot of the ships now. So, they take out drones. They just hit them with the microwave, and the drone just goes. Sooner or later, putting microwave shielding on drones will make them too heavy. We don't really have that kind of new material, lightweight material. So we'll get there.
And they're also currently kind of still too noisy. Not real stealthy.
All right, one at a time.
Ask the aliens for some of that technology, dude.
They don't want to give us that technology. We might use it on them. They're like, no, humans bad. Aliens good, humans bad.
We're getting their used up scraps.
Christopher, I would predict if Trump becomes president, unless somebody uses a nuke before then, I would think within six months, the war in Ukraine will be over with. Yes, there'll be a deal, and it'll be over with. And the one in Israel is more complicated because it's not really a war. It's more like a religious
war, ain't it?
No, at this point, it's not a war because it's only one-sided, really. It's more like a cleansing. So you got two things going on with Israel. You got Israel doing whatever the hell they're doing in Palestine right now, which they need to chill out about. But then you've got them fighting a border war outside. So they're fighting a little mini war inside and a border war outside. So they have to, and they're starting to catch a lot of flack from around the planet now. People are getting tired of seeing them killing innocent people in Palestine. So they're gonna have to balance this out, and they don't care if they kill Houthis and Hezbollah outside. You blow some bitches up all day. They don't care about that. But now they feel like that Israel has gotten even for all the babies and teenagers that were killed, and maybe it needs to calm down some. So personally, I would evict their asses out of my country. I'd say, you know what? This has been nothing but problems. I don't care where you go, but you can't live here anymore. Get out.
When the Egyptians won't agree to come in and take control of that place, you know you got problems.
Yeah.
You know you got problems.
Chris, you mean Brax? So it's Saudi Arabia, Egypt, two other Middle Eastern countries. China and Russia and somebody else. So
India.
it was going. No, England ain't in that.
He said
No,
India, right?
Oh, India. So it was going real well, but then now Russia's collapsing, China's collapsing, so their money's not worth anything. So Saudi, I can tell you, is not going to stay for long because Saudi's greedy. So they won't stay for much longer because no, Iran's in it, yeah. But so they were trying to base China was doing really well. So Brexit was going to be based on the Chinese yen, just like everything's based on the American dollar. But unfortunately, Trump went a little crazy with the sanctions before he got out, and then Biden actually put a few more in there. So they're on the edge of bankruptcy. That's where they are, and a lot of their economy was inflated. We talked about a lot of this 4 years ago. A lot of their economy was inflated, and here we found out for sure. So they were projecting wealth much higher than what they actually had.
Yeah, but wouldn't have passed as a country as big as China when they're, facing this.
So
kind of
now they're saying
collapse.
that China may never surpass the United States' largest economy. Yeah, I don't know why. I was reading about
But are
it
they going to
today.
attack because of these results? Or because of the fact that they're going bankrupt, are they going to attack?
Who they're going to attack? They can't attack the United States; they'll lose. They're going to attack Russia. What they
Have to be
should
local.
do.
I mean, they don't have the money. If they're going bankrupt, they have to.
So what they need to do is
when they're facing bankrupt, do they attack or do they fold up shop? I mean,
well, what they should do is attack Russia and take Russia over because they need the expansion room anyway, and they need the minerals and they need the fuel. So if they did that, they could bloom and they'd have a lot of room for all their people. They'd be the largest country, have a lot of minerals, have a lot of oil. They could find themselves in a better position. But what would the United States and Europe do? Will we allow them to take?
Who are we going to
Russia?
side with? Are we going to
Now,
stand
let
back
me
and let
ask
them
you
go?
this. If it came down to Russia and China, who would win?
At this
China,
point, with
Russia would.
Russia, committed in Ukraine, probably China.
No, Russia would, because Russia would nuke Hong Kong and Beijing. Boom, boom. And they would nuke the Chinese Navy. China's got 400 nukes. Russia's got 5,800. It's not a contest. It really isn't. And Russia, Putin is not going to give up his sovereignty, so he'd nuke them. He'd probably nuke Hong Kong first to prove a point. And if they didn't get the message, he'd nuke Beijing next. And I don't know if China's missiles are even good enough not to be shot down.
Yeah, and if he nukes Hong Kong, what is England going to do? They have a lot of assets there still too.
Yeah, I know, and they're going to get pissed. But what are they actually? They're not going to nuke. They're not going to.
And they've got nukes. So,
yeah, they got nukes, but they're not going to. There's only 9 countries with nukes, so they're not going to nuke. I mean, so between the United States and Russia, there's over 11,000 nukes. If you combined everybody else, I'm not even sure if it goes over like 1,000 or maybe 2,000. Yeah. It's not a lot. China's got 400 or 500. I think it's 500. And then it goes.
They don't need one. I mean, that's one drop.
But they need nukes that can do stuff and get there. And we don't really know what kind of missiles they're using. What kind of defenses Russia's going to use, or the United States is going to use, or England's going to use. So I don't feel the quality of China's missiles may not serve them the way they need.
Yeah, and even if they were to attack us instead of Russia, they'd have to fly their missiles over Russia.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, all they would have to do is put it on a spy balloon and fly it into Montana.
Yeah.
Drop that bitch right over New York.
As long as Biden was still president, you're all good.
They put it in an Amazon Prime container and hit San Francisco, and then boom.
So they asked
San Francisco.
They asked Trump about that the other day. He said, "Yeah, we should have considered an act of war," and immediately parked nuclear warheads right off his coast and said, "Hey, dude, have you lost your effing mind?" That was a big no-no, and we're thinking about taking out one of your
That's a
targets.
shake your finger no-no.
At that point, I'd say you're going to have to sacrifice the city. Which one is it going to be? And and Putin would be but in the end, you can get into a nuclear war with us. I mean, China don't have enough missiles to get them here, so we'll knock them out the sky. Russia, if they can get all 5,800 launched, has a chance of getting some of them here. But if Russia shoots a dozen missiles at a time, they'll never make it here.
I don't think even if they shot 5,000 at a time, they'd get.
Well, first off, they got to get through Elon Musk's system because Elon's already tested it. So he took one of his Earthlings or whatever the hell he calls them, and smashed it into a big old cruise missile a big old, not a missile, a big old abandoned satellite up there.
Abandoned satellite, yeah.
That was cruising quite a bit faster than the cruise missile would be cruising at, and he just knocked it out into space. So,
Yeah,
so Elon's proved that
but-
he can take
And
out.
not just him. I mean, the military has a lot of satellites too. We've got enough stuff floating up there. I don't think he's going to get his stuff through, even if he launched them all simultaneous.
He'll have to come in. He'll have to come in with a submarine and with a cruise missile, and he'll have to get it in that way. And then the
They could
East
get it
Coast,
with a Poseidon,
yeah,
like a Poseidon torpedo, nuclear torpedo.
uh,
The thing kind of moves so fast you can't stop it. You just detonate
plus-
it right off the coast of a major city, and
Yeah,
It's
that's you
foobar.
just say get close to a coastal city, and that's a
Yeah.
disaster area there.
he caused a tsunami. He caused a tsunami on the west coast or east coast if you want with a Poseidon.
Well,
Yeah.
if he attacked New York, the tsunami would hit the
but,
European
the,
coast.
but the new Mark 9 missiles can catch it. They can hit it. If it's within, say, 500 miles of DC, the Mark 9s can catch it before it detonates. It's so those are different. That's a different beast now. That's a different type of missile than we used to have. But let's be honest, how many of them do we have? I don't know. Maybe 5. maybe.
I mean, that's
6.
probably as many as Putin has too. The Poseidon.
It probably is,
Poseidon,
but it's still, and then he's got to get a submarine that close without it being seen.
And we don't know what's behind curtain number 3. We may have stuff that's ready to deploy that, they just shoot it once and it knocks every missile out of the sky with one shot.
Unless something changed in the Navy, we always know where his nuclear submarines are. Not his nuclear powered submarines, his nuclear warhead submarines. And by rule, there's at least 2 Wolfpack members that always know where they are. And they usually spread it out because the way the Wolfpack is set up now, they can hunt you from wherever they are around the planet cruising along, because they usually outnumber the killer subs, the nuclear subs, by 4 to 1. So that's what they're designed to do. But don't think them Russian sub pilots are not smart. Them bitches are good. I've heard many sub commanders say they're good at what they do.
They have very serious floor terrain maps of that part of the ocean, so they can hide in chasms and under ocean caverns and whatnot. So yeah, they're very cagey.
And then the U.S. cheated. So the U.S. used to have a really advanced underwater listening system for tracking subs. That's what it was. But for some reason, they said, oh, you know what? We don't need it anymore. So they gave it to this company that tracks whale and fish movement and stuff. So they're all over the world. So after they've had it for about 10 years, the U.S. goes in and installs, hopefully it's in class, installs these new sonar devices, some kind of ultra high frequency sonar that can penetrate water for much longer
it
range.
starts killing whales, right?
Probably. And there were rumors that it was killing. Actually, it was rumors it was killing dolphins, and but it can pick up a submarine. Literally, you can't feel it. It doesn't do anything, and it can pick up a submarine at almost 5 times the range that we could before. So it allows us to always know where everybody's moving at all the time, so that we can just say, you know what, you're dead. Oh shit, you're dead. Oh, you're dead. It's weird. The U.S. military is weird today. It used to be, I thought the Russians had a much bigger play, but I don't know. I think after the fall, and then all the corruption and Gorbachev, and then Med, and then now Putin, I think the corruption is just too much. I don't think that their military is ready as it should be. And what scares me about that is not so much of us, but there are other countries in the world that might see that as weakness and decide to try to make a move.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only that, if the military exposing its ineptness and weakness, stuff like that, just makes Russia even that much more unstable, and therefore that much more willing to rely on their nukes. Sure. Yeah.
Yes, several of his close friends and oligarchs have said we should turn this into a nuclear war, and then.
These people are out of their minds. They have no idea. They have no idea. 1 minute. Like once you start this thing, world ends. Done.
Yeah, they don't. They have no idea how this is going to play out. So they were showing the most likely scenario if Russia and the United States and Britain and all and decide to get into a nuclear war. Fortunately for the Southern Hemisphere, they fare much better than the Northern Hemisphere does. But that's only, and by Southern Hemisphere, let me tell you this: it's only because it's not an all-out nuclear war. full nuclear war, y'all die just like the rest of us do. Yeah, they have strategic targets all over South America.
Don't forget, like Australia would get. Too, right?
But they're saying in
With
this
cotton
type of
gap.
war was they're saying in this type
Australia's
of
a big
war.
target. There's a lot of programs down there that we have that are important.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So they're saying, that if Russia could do it, they would, it would be DC, LA, New York, but that wouldn't be the first. DC would be one of the first targets, but they're more interested in where our missile bases are. That would be the first targets.
DC's not a first strike target. They know because that's our seat of government, and as soon as the alarms go off, that place, whatever they wanted to hit there, will be gone by the time the missile gets there. So that's second, third, fourth strike minimum.
Yeah, the missiles are the first. The counter
missiles are always the first. Usually
large
cities
zones. New York.
So
Baltimore,
when we were doing
Philadelphia, Pittsburgh.
When we were doing disaster scenarios in the Navy, usually the cities were the third wave. So the first wave was always our missile systems, but the second wave was military bases, especially places where we'd be constructing or housing or keeping a lot of our stuff like the F-35s or different equipment, tanks, whatever. The U.S. doesn't keep the way they used to. So World War II changed the way we deploy everything now. In the old days, anywhere you went, there would be a mass of stuff. So each army base will have tanks and this, that, and the other thing. First off, they're spread out further than they were.
Yeah, they're not
ranged
differently.
Wingtip. And then, but they won't keep as many there. There'll be a smaller base or another one here, another one here, another one here, or what do they call them? Annexes. So they'll have equipment there, and they did that on purpose because we learned a lesson. You can't keep all your eggs in one basket because if they all get crushed, you're screwed. And losing as many, if we'd have lost our carriers and the start of World War II, I don't know if we'd have come out the way we did without the nuclear weapons. No, we wouldn't, because we got the nuke, so we'd still have won, but
it may not
would
have
been a different one
because of that.
It may not have. It would have. We wouldn't have won. We wouldn't have won Midway. That was for sure. Jackie, Midway was the lucky. America was so effing lucky. Midway is not even funny.
It was a lot of luck and guesswork.
Yes. Oh, our pilots were really good, and everybody did what they were supposed to do. But in the end, there was some luck in there. It was like chess, or actually some other games, like peekaboo, really. Who finds who first? We found them first, so it allowed us to proceed with. No, it's true.
It was more of a feint because we found the best way to describe it is we had cracked their code. I believe it's called the Purple Code, and the listing station that we were feeding messages off of was called Quadrillane, and they kept hearing about this one objective, an AI objective. And they didn't know what AI was. So they kept tracking that throughout the months. This is just after Pearl Harbor that they're looking at this. So they decide they think AI is Midway Air Station. So they send by boat from Hawaii. They send by boat a message that's to be broadcast back to Hawaii in the broadcast open on the next day's daily reports, so they can find out what's going on. So this message says our freshwater recycler is having trouble. We need parts. And they sent it. In the next moments, they hear Quadrillane, which is a Japanese listening station, send back AI having trouble with freshwater stabilizer, something, whatever they wanted to know. Please advise. So they knew from just that pure luck that now that's what their objective was, and that's how they trapped the Japanese Army or Japanese Navy. If they hadn't heard that message, it would have never happened. We'd be speaking Japanese on the West Coast.
Well, all I know is if whoever was running them freaking radars would have been a little stronger in Hawaii, we wouldn't have lost as many people.
Well,
I gotta go,
and that's
guys.
just
You gotta
just
go,
mistakes
Sean,
too.
be good,
they were
baby.
expecting
All right,
a whole
see
flight
you.
of
I'll
bombers
talk to
to come
you
across
soon.
that
Good.
same direction.
Hey, Sean.
I'll see you guys.
Sweet dreams, baby. Sweet
Hey,
dreams.
Sean.
All right.
Dream of somebody sexy. Taylor Swift, man. Taylor Swift.
Oh, no way.
I'm not a big blonde fan, so I can't say nothing. But what's that, Marty? No, I'm not where did y'all go? I just seen y'all put something over here and I missed it anyway. It's I don't mind y'all sending me articles. It's just send them. Yeah, just send them to USB 21 Raider bomber enters mass production. Oh, holy shit!
Oh, that big black wing thing.
Yeah, that big thing, baby. It's You can't see it, you can't find it, and it can drop rain nukes on your head all day long. Now you see, if Russia's
We're
got
building
some
more
of
of those.
them, well, if Russia's got some of them, we might be in trouble because you don't see them coming. China actually asked the UN to ban them. That's how scared they are of them.
Oh.
They said that they should be considered. What do they call them? Oh shit! Now I can't remember what he called them, but
Weapons of mass destruction.
no, he didn't call them weapons of mass destruction. He called them something else. How did he put it? It was something about how many people it could kill. It was. He said we didn't need him. Is what he basically was trying to say. It was a weapon that wasn't needed. It was a weapon that was. Oh, fuck! I wish I could remember how he said it. I'll have to go find an article. It's well, no, basically people. He was saying the United States was building weapons that could kill you from a distance, that nobody could defend against, and simply just were not needed in today's world. Well, if we didn't need them, we wouldn't have built them.
I mean, that could apply to handguns. I mean, you can kill somebody from a distance. Unless you have very expensive body armor, it's very hard to stop. You know, I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. If you're wearing body armor, if you're not wearing the proper helmet, he can still probably take you down. So, I mean, I don't understand. People just freak out about the dumbest things. It's just why you worry about stuff that's out of your actual control.
I know. But Jeffrey, if you read articles, like we flip through we use a lot of different news sites for articles. I'm on one right now. So if you're flipping through it, so you'll see like Andrew Wiseman, and this would be a very bad development for Trump, whatever this is, right? But then you're going on, you'll see 3 or 4 other articles that are good for Trump. But when you pay attention, what you have to pay attention to is who is actually writing the article. Mm-hmm. So on this article that's talking about this might be bad for Trump, it is an NBC article. It's an MSNBC article, which means you have to take it with at least a pound of salt.
You could almost play a drinking game.
That's what
Joe,
the MS
where
stands
you just
for.
read the title
salt,
of the article,
right?
and then you would say like which news agency is this?
I know that'd be pretty good too. What is this? The West humiliating electric car climb down has begun. Oh, calm down has begun. Sorry, that's the Telegraph.
Sounds like it's Fox.
Maybe they're finally hearing our disgruntled talks about those cars on the show. I mean,
well,
I mean, you saw what happened in Chicago. Like they all shut down. All the Teslas shut down, right? When it got cold.
Good.
Oh shit. Crimea update. Russia Black Sea Fleet suffers yet another loss. What the hell was this? Oh, this looks like a tanker. Oh man, so somebody else sunk one of Russia's tankers just recently down there in the Red Sea.
It's a naval tanker? Wow. Well, that's going to make it harder for them to refuel their ships down there.
Well, Russia's got customers trying to buy oil, including India, but they can't seem to get the oil to them. They're just having
Especially if we're knocking their tankers out of the water. I mean, or not us, but the Ukrainians.
There's what's his face vowing to take back the Ukraine. Okay, well, we're good there. I just, I don't know. The Crimea War is just kind of funny. It is kind of like when we were fighting in Iraq, except it's in reverse.
Yeah, it was kind of a blitz attack. I mean, they just flew. Didn't they use some civilian aircraft to get in there?
No, wait. What is this? U.S. launches retaliatory strikes and deadly attacks on Jordan base. I didn't know we blew up anything in Jordan. What the hell is that?
No. It was Syria and Iraq. It's in.
Okay.
Yeah, there are 85 targets in Syria and Iraq.
We
also shot some stuff. We also shot some stuff down. Or no, Yemen talked about shooting some stuff down in that same area. So
apparently, I think it looks like they used phalanx. It got close enough; they had to use the phalanx.
Well, that's getting serious. If they're getting that close. I mean,
a lot of ammo to send off too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised how much ammo the ship carries for those things.
The phalanx, that's 50 caliber, isn't it? That's a big bullet. That's that's his.
No, I think
that's a bullet that big.
It's bigger than 50 cal, isn't it?
No, yeah, they have rooms just for each gun that carries ammo for them, and because they're not playing around. Well, that's the ship's in close, it's in close.
Yeah, it's 20 millimeter. They fire
Yeah, because I was thinking this,
500 20 millimeter rounds a minute.
yeah, because they do have 50 cals, but those are just rail.
Those are the ones on the Warthogs and other planes, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
Warthog, I think, is like 30 millimeter, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's probably the same one, 20
You know what?
millimeter.
They went back and forth on the Warthog because they were having problem with one of them seemed to be a little too heavy. It was too strong or something. It was tearing up.
I think they use 20 millimeters.
I know it's a long time I read that article, but it was tearing up the plane. Wait, Christopher, no, the Warthog is just a beast. Even our enemies say the Warthog is a beast. It's when your enemies like Russia and China and Iran go, that is a beast. You got to just take it as, God damn, even they think the plane's a beast. That's why the Air Force get rid of them.
The Warthog is 30 millimeter. It's
30 millimeter Gatling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's a tank killer? So
there's the tank buster. Who are you going to call? Tank busters.
Aren't those those uranium depleted bullets?
Depleted uranium.
Depleted uranium. Those will go through any kind of hardened steel.
It's well, Krista, look, when you want to go, the U.S. believes if we're going to go to war, we want to win. We don't want crappy shit out there, like you see with Russia with its tank tops popping off of.
Yeah, I don't think anything short of a nuclear device is going to get us into war over in those two areas.
So, if you ever seen like a bomb that small blow up a top of an American tank, they would throw the whole line off the thing and start building new tanks. Oh yeah, they would not put up with that shit. No, indeed not, because training soldiers is expensive. Getting them killed is even more expensive because you got to replace them. And of course, if they get killed, that means, and your tank gets destroyed. So no. America wants to keep their shit. Our goal
all those bullets catch on fire and go up in flames. If anyone's listening, look up on YouTube anywhere. Just Google tanks being exploded. When a tank goes up, I mean, it's like the 4th of July. It's spectacular. Especially when the magazine catches fire, all that gunpowder and bullets and explosive devices.
Like all that shit different.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, it's you don't want to be anywhere near that.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. What is this? Who sent me this? All right, Denise. Thank you for this article. Ex-users shocked that 150 Democrats are voting against bill to deport illegal immigrants when they're caught drunk driving.
Those people should have their jobs taken away from them. That is not defending the U.S. Constitution.
Okay. All right. Well, wait, hold on. So these are illegal immigrants, right? Because if they're caught doing anything, they should be deported.
Drunk driving. They came into the country legally. They need to be taken out of the country legally. And
Democrats,
that is their constitutional job.
I really think, and I said this before, I really think part of the Democratic Party is really the new Communist Party. It just has that feel because they're this. Every time I turn around, it's like they're just trying to destroy the country. Look, I'm all for getting us a more modern country and becoming more of a better country that really loves and respects everybody, but not at my own personal security and expense. I mean, I'd like to live and enjoy my country. For you people who actually say shit like this, I can honestly tell you, first, you've never been abroad. You've never been in a combat situation. And you don't even have to be, to understand this, ladies and gentlemen, you don't even have to be in a real war. You can just be in a real combat situation or a real exercise, and you will get an understanding of what it actually is like, what it takes to keep this country free. Free don't come free. I hate to say it like that, but it doesn't. It comes at expense of lots of money and lots of lives and lots of materials. It's how we stay as a free nation. I've probably lost count of how many Americans have died for the freedom of this country. And that's not going to stop. But when you go around just saying how bad it is or hating on soldiers, why are you hating on a soldier? He's going over there because you told him to go there. You elected the government that put that poor bastard over there. You're blaming the government that you elected. Unelect them, but no, did you do that? Yeah. No, you didn't. You just elected the same assholes who put more people over there.
You are the provider for the army. Right. You are providing the funds and the people for it. And the average age of person that we send over to fight is 23 years old. So if you want to blame anybody, blame yourself. You're sending 23-year-olds over to a country to fight people.
So
if you pay taxes,
we don't lose any rights over here in America. Yeah. So
if you're paying taxes, you fund it.
That's right. Yeah, so exactly right. You are the enabler.
You're the enabler. Yeah, that's what you are. You're the enabler. That's what you are. American people, that you are. If you're paying your
income and state income taxes and state sales taxes and whatnots on an income tax day, then yeah, you are enabling us to send your children at the age of 23 to die in another country. So
The
don't
fact
blame
that
us.
you
Don't
keep
blame your government.
voting.
Blame yourself.
I mean, let's look at some of the politicians in office. I mean, Chuck Shitty Schumer. What the hell is he doing there? I mean, really. I mean, when you look at him, or like McConnell. No, it's not just a Democrat thing, dude. There's some badass Republicans need to go. McConnell. I mean, he's talking the other day and he goes, I'm thinking this is a sci-fi movie or something. I'm waiting for like a lizard to jump out of his mouth or some shit. It's and it's not the first time he's done it. I'm thinking, dude, you need to retire. I understand we don't want to give up somebody in the Senate, but shit, you just need to retire before something bad happens. And
there should be age caps. Yeah, I mean, there's a certain age when you start to become mentally deficient. And
you got
I think
Schumer and
Biden is at that age.
What's the
how
other?
About, how about no insider trading in Congress? How about that?
Oh, Jesus.
Let's start with that.
You know, and this just something that pisses me off. So when what's her name, Martha Stewart, my favorite girlfriend, went to jail for insider trading, I was like, damn, that's just so
You got
wrong.
her information from a
So
senator,
she was bitching, and her lawyer was bitching because she actually got the tip from where someone in Congress. And oh yeah, she did. So they were bitching that, you know, because Congress people do it all the time. So Congress said, "Oh, she's right. You know, we're going to change this so there's no insider trading." So they changed some laws, and guess what? They're still getting insider trading. I'm like, wait a minute. We changed the law to get rid of it because they make so much money.
And I think it's still legal.
It's still legal. Like, if you're in Congress, it's still legal inside trade.
It's not legal for anybody else, but if you're in Congress,
now you can't go telling people outside of Congress. That can get you in trouble. But
that's why he went to jail.
Yeah, but
Joe, there are entire hedge funds that mimic. You know, they get like the 13Ds or whatever. I forget what the filing is, and they'll look to see what the congressional members of Congress traded on, and they'll buy the same stocks. Like they have tracking stocks.
And that's another thing. Whatever Congress is doing, your personals should never be made public. It should always be a private thing because, you know, so you Nancy Pelosi, you hear this, that, or other thing because her husband's way up there. And she's like, okay, we're going to buy and sell this. And all of a sudden she's done added another $100 million. And so everybody who's seen that said, well, we're going to do the same thing. Of course, no, Martha, that's just the way they do it, my friend. Yeah.
I mean, it is unconscionable that they're able to do that. Like the fact that they are still able to do that is just, it is the classic sign or signal of gross and unfettered corruption in our government.
It is.
Right now.
It's okay. Donna says that's why we have such good product lines for our military because we allow Congress to make money outside of stealing it from the military. You know what? You're smart. I'm going to let that slide. That was good.
That was good. Where they steal it from?
No, but she's saying, well, no, what she's saying is she's saying that the Congress people used to steal from the military. That's why the toilet seats were $100,000 and shit. Now they don't have to. We allow them to steal from us so they don't have to steal from the military.
They've always
That's what she was saying.
You know, if you follow their trades, you don't, and they didn't provide you with, you know, if you look at a public record and trade based on what they're doing, that's completely legal. But it'll be after the fact. It'll be, you know, after they may have made a lot of money and after the news came out, some big weapons program came out, right?
Yeah, you're either coming back in at the bottom or you're paying a lot to get in at the top, and hopefully it sells and goes higher.
So here's this article. Lisa sent me this just now. This is the Western Journal. Jack Smith prosecution of Trump abruptly removed from court docket in surprise twist. This is the public calendar of the Washington, D.C. federal court system no longer shows a date for former President Trump's trial on charges related to the event because they know what the Supreme Court's going to say and they don't have no case. Shit. But you see, we knew some of this was going to happen, you know. So as long as it's serious stuff,
it all along. Some of these things are going to
this one
could be like this. You can't do this. The judge is biased. So
this case, there was one in this case. And the one in Georgia, those two would have done him the most damage to be found guilty on. It could have actually kept him from running, unless he appealed it and they got an appeal, then they wouldn't have been able to stop it. But in the end, it doesn't look like the DC one's even going to be a thing, and it doesn't look like the Georgia case is going to get there either, because now, I forgot what they call themselves. The something 9 decided they're going to investigate the DA and her boyfriend, big time. And since they're all non-Republicans, you can already know where this is going. So it's a shame our country's like that. We can say that in the air and we know it's going to happen. But so more than likely, this will never get to trial before the election. It doesn't look like the one in Florida, and now it doesn't look like the D.C. one might not either. So you're only going to have the New York one. No one expects him to win in New York, especially since the judge said his property went from $4 billion to 40 million or something stupid. What I remember when the guy said the amount, I was thinking, because I just heard the value of the land next to Trump was like $500 million, and it was like 2 acres or something. And
Yeah.
Trump's got like a massive chunk of land, and I'm thinking, and this guy was saying it was worth less than the property next to it. And I'm thinking, God, dude, how are you getting away with this? Plus, this guy
It's significantly less, like a factor.
Significantly,
of
One of
10 or
the
something like
Supreme Court judges said,
Yeah, factor of 10 at least.
So how would he know?
Yes, and but it was at least a factor of 10 less. There's just no way. But I'm listening to the one of the bankers go. He goes, well, the judge tells him, he says, well, Your Honor, he said, what do you think and this is how the guy said it. He said, what do you think? We didn't check his finances out. And the judge just looked at him like, because he was hoping he was going to say he caught him lying or something. He said, no, you don't loan $400 million to somebody or $1 billion to somebody without actually checking their finances. We don't really care. So if I walked up to the car dealership and said, well, I'm worth blah, 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 I want that car, they're going to look at me and say, okay, give me Social Security number. let me check your credit score. Now, in cases Trump, it's not going to be his personal credit score. It's going to be his company's credit score, which is different. And it works differently, but still, it's not what he says it's worth. It's what the bank says it's worth. Right. So the bank went and looked at this guy, probably got his records. I've actually, when I've borrowed money before in the past, they haven't asked for my credit score. Nothing. They asked if they could have permission to go through my company account. And when they did, that's when they decided if they were going to loan any money or not. So it's probably same for Trump, but just at a much massive rate.
Yeah.
And, but the thing of it is, you don't loan someone that kind of money because someone said something. So I'm surprised that someone hasn't stepped in. The governor should have stepped in and said, this is bullshit. There's no way. And once the bankers said, look, not only did it we check into it, but the loan is paid in full. So New York's got a no foul, no something law, and Trump and them are going after it now because they're saying, look, there was no harm done here at all to anyone. It didn't harm anybody's businesses. It didn't harm any people. It didn't harm anything. And that's the same thing. That's why they got that other hearing with that girl, her money, because they're saying she was not significantly hurt for $83 million. And the judge for the appeal said, I'll see the appeal because he agrees. They're all like, what did you do? What did you do? Hold the bitch down and slap her or something? I mean, $83 million for what? Because he said something about you? No, that's not going to happen because you were saying stuff about him. Well, Pete, they did tell him, but Trump is weird. Trump's actually told to sue a lot of people, but Trump's got a lot of money and he don't want to tie himself up in court all the time. Oh, he sued some news agencies and stuff. And Chuck Schumer, you notice Chuck Schumer don't talk to him about him as much because Chuck, you got Shitty Shift and Chuck Schumer. They both got in trouble. All that stuff they said on MSNBC that none of it turned out to be true. So, yeah, they kind of shut up after that. Well, they should both be going.
When you tend to produce lies on public television, broadcast television, or cable, your reputation is spent.
What is it? One's in Cali, one's in New York, I think. I don't remember which one's which. No, to me, they're the same ass. Unfortunately, like what's his name? McCarthy's just a dumbass too because he's mad because he didn't do what the party wanted and he got tossed out. Now he wants revenge. Instead of helping the party get whatever it needs to do, like this impeachment on Biden, he wants to hold it up when they're down to just 10 months to the election and they could lose the House. So, I mean, you got to just wonder what's going on here. The House Republicans seem to be in a daze somewhere. Yeah. So no, because there needs to be term limitations. These people get stupid after a while. It's no longer about
age limitations too. I mean, if you can't even if it's your first term, you can't come in at 95 years old and expect to be young and spry and of sane mind. I mean, as you get older, your mental facilities do eventually start to go away from you. I don't care how many games you play every day, you're going to lose your mind eventually.
I remember Senator McDonald about 20 years ago. He said the problem with Congress today is it's always about the next election. It's not about what the people need anymore. He said you win. He said, you got about a year of just relaxing. He said, unless you're in the Senate, he said, unless you're in the House. And he said, of course, as soon as you win, you're already starting for your next election because it's only 2 years. And he said, for the Senate, you got 6, but he said, even there, he said, within 2 years, you're already start working on your next election. And it shouldn't be like that. And you should only, I really think the Senate should get 2 years, which is 2 terms, which is 12 years. It's a good long time. And that the House should get 6, which is 12 years. So between the two, you could get 24 years. You could also serve as president, would give you 30, or you could go serve as a governor somewhere. There's lots of other political positions besides the House and the Senate. And it would it would keep from these roadblocks we get. Well, no, it doesn't matter what age. You could start it later. So you could be in your 40s or even in your 50s.
You'd have to at least meet the minimum age anyway.
But no, what I mean is somebody said, well, could you just walk in? I said, yeah. So you could be a senator. You could have been a business person and at 50 or 60 decide to come in and become a senator. You get 12 years. You'd be out at 72, which is still a pretty good year. You still get your brain functioning. And you're going on. Now, I realized something today when Sean and Jay and I were talking. It was a week before last, I think. So I was looking at Trump. Now, Trump, I think, would have done much better if he'd have came in under this time than next time, because Trump's going to be 81 when he gets out if he wins this time. Mm-hmm. So is his facilities or his faculties going to be any better than Joe Biden's are right now? So that's a question. Now, he looks like he's healthy. He looks like he's still sharp. But, okay, that's now. Next year's are going to be like that. Next year's are going to be like that. It's just a shame that we didn't get him on this last one, because it would have been much better for us as a country. And he may still, Reagan held up almost to the end. The last year he was on, didn't know who he was, but yeah, I think he told Nancy, "Oh, can I play with that little red button?" Shit like that. It's no, really, people. He didn't know who he was. And as last year, Alzheimer's had taken over, and he was. That's why they wouldn't let him talk publicly after that. He was like 77 or something.
Let me get this. So what's the current Congress? It's like 117, 118.
What do you mean? How many?
What's the current Congress number? Hey Google, what's the current?
Like 379 or something, 400 or something. I forget.
It's like 535 is my guess.
Yeah.
So 118 is the one that's on right now. So these stats came from the 115th Congress, so I guess 3 years ago.
Oh, you meant but Congress it was. Okay, I was
confused. Yeah, we know the number of people.
The median age of voting House lawmakers is 57.9, down from 58.9 in the 17th Congress, which I guess was 2022. 58 years old in the 116th and 58.4 in the 115th. The new Senate's median age, on the other hand, which is the 818th, is 65.3 years, up from 64.8 in the 17th. So the average age of the senators, and there's another one I found that right now, it's 65 years old. And of the senators we have, over half of them, I think it's 47 of the senators are that age or older, minimum 65.
But that's
47 of them.
You want to know what the problem is? That's not even what the problem is. You want to know what the real problem is? So when I was a kid, when you went to see the Congress, the majority of people in Congress were just different, from different walks of life. Today, and I'd have to ask Alexa what it is, the majority of people in Congress are lawyers. And what do fucking lawyers do? Lawyers fight. That's what they do. They fight and they mediate, and they always just... That's why we can't get anywhere, because this is all we have is a bunch of lawyers arguing. So one of the things besides term limitations, we need to also say only X amount of y'all can be attorneys. We need farmers in there. We need doctors in there. We need
Joe the plumber. Yeah.
We need astronauts in there. We need people like we used to have in there saying, hey, look, we
still have astronauts in there.
Are they real astronauts? Are they shuttle astronauts? They ain't real astronauts.
And shuttle pilots.
They want to be astronauts. They ain't like getting into Mercury and Gemini, man.
Yeah,
blasting
how
your
far
ass
did they go? 8 miles, 9 miles, 10 miles. Yeah,
somebody asked me one time. They said
we need moonwalkers in there. That's what we need.
I was talking with a group of kids at the NASA thing. And they said, I don't understand why the first astronauts were all test pots. I said because Mercury and Gemini were, let's just say, really dangerous.
And we didn't have a whole lot of jet fighter planes at that point.
But,
We were just starting to develop jet fighter power. So most
they
of the
were
test
also
bus we had
testing-
were already dying.
well, they were also testing the X-115 out there as well. So
yeah, the Bell X-115. But
Yeah.
most of the pilots that were trying out these new systems, they weren't making it. They were the planes were killing them.
Yeah, because we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Dangerous.
Oh wait, who sent me this? Darlene. Well, thank you, Darlene. Ukraine strikes back, downs $50 million Russian Su-34 to add to their 332 aircraft that they have taken from the Russian skies
Nice.
since the 2 year ago.
Su-34.
300. I don't even know if Russia has 300 airplanes. They can just get rid of.
What'd they hit it with? A slingshot?
I don't know. It's sad, man. I mean, it's sad. Well, people, at this rate, if the U.S. had real troops and real equipment in the Ukraine, we would have already rolled over. Russia would have been like the Iraq. We'd have had them folded up.
Yeah, I think they'd have their whole country back, and we'd have a couple of new luxury ports in the Black Sea.
Well, you see, Dean, if the U.S. decided to just dump a bunch of equipment in Ukraine and then start rolling over Russia, Russia can't really pull its troops off its borders because that's U.S. allies. So if we're rolling and they're attacking, they would have to protect their borders regardless, because Poland or somebody else could, there's 9 countries or 7 countries on the border that could just come rolling in on different areas. Russia's as a world power, Russia is not what it is anymore. Russia needs to learn that, and Russia just needs to become a country on the planet. And
just after the war, they had
actually Russia just needs to get rid of it. Russia needs to get rid of its military and ask NATO to watch it, and just start becoming a farm and oil country, and they could be rich and happy, and not have to worry about all this bullshit anymore. Which will never happen with people like Putin in charge. But that's what
property they could take over the wheat basket. Non-air of the planet. They could overtake our production.
They could if they wanted to, and they but it's never been a thing for them. Gorbachev talked about it, but it's never been a thing for them.
Putin. No, they've really never really been much of an agrarian society, the Russians.
Former Putin advisor indicates potential territorial expansion to the 18th century Russian borders.
Which is Alaska.
Yeah.
People don't believe that. We're not giving
Alaska and all the Aleutian Islands going up to Alaska.
I would think the Alaskans could take on the Russians by themselves. So
I think there's enough guns there, but the territory is just treacherous. I mean, there's not a lot of,
Yeah, they could try. They could try to take it, and they would just get swallowed up by it.
2 more of Putin's top generals have gone missing.
2 more.
2 more.
Missing in Ukraine or missing in Russia?
Missing in Russia.
That's the
disappearance of top Russian generals dating back to September has sparked questions about their whereabouts. Nobody knows where they are. So they either defected or were killed by, sounds like, Russians. Oh, shit. It's getting dangerous over there, people. When y'all have some real evidence about Amelia Earhart's plane, we'll talk about it. I read the article. It's just here.
If you're Russian and you have a green jacket with many stars on it, you better shed them stars.
Mm-hmm.
Ukrainian Air Force comment on Ukraine's refueling. Wait, what? Wait a minute. We are not giving them F-18 Hornets. Get the bullshit out of here with that.
Who said that?
The article just popped up. Somebody sent it to me. Let me see. Ukrainian Air Force comment on Ukraine's refusal to buy FA-18 fighters. Oh, they won't buy them. Well, that's good. Thank freaking God.
Yeah, they want them for free.
Offer, did we? And we didn't offer. So, I mean, that's a bullshit article.
Let's see. Ukraine is pursuing the only available path to Western aircraft as much as possible. Wrote in response to Facebook post criticizing an Australian Financial Review article about if you don't know, don't gossip, whatever. Well, that's what I'm saying. The Russian, now the Ukrainian government said they'll buy any freaking airplane that the Americans will give it to us. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. They don't want to buy Australian F-18s. he's saying
The
that
ones we make, aren't they?
no, the Ukrainian guy said he thinks they were maybe been overly used.
Not in pristine used condition. Come on.
You
That
know,
how long is that platform being? How long have we been using that platform in the Air Force? 30 years,
F-18,
40.
F-18 was there right as I was leaving. The Hornets were coming in to replace the Tomcats, and I had the pleasure of working on both jets, but they were just coming in as I was leaving. So that was 86 when they were coming in on board the ships, and they were beasts. I mean, they still are beasts, but they're not no F-35 and no F-22 though. Don't get me wrong; they've got really advanced killer systems. They can actually kill a Russian jet long
Yeah,
before
we're
a
still
Russian
using
jet can. Yeah, well, yeah, we still using all the carriers. Well, so here's look. This tells you something about our stupid ass government. So we build all these F-35. Navy says they want one aircraft that can do everything. F-35. We build. Well, get this shit. So they build all these new super carriers, and guess what? They can't be launched off the carrier. The carrier's new fancy kinetic system isn't designed for the F-35.
Well, wait, can't they? Well, I thought they were vertical takeoff. They don't go straight up.
No, only the ones for the Marines are vertical takeoff. Only the ones for the Marines. Yeah, they don't all like that. There's 3 versions of the F-35, A, B, and C. Yeah. And the one that goes to the Marines can vertical takeoff. The Air Force ones are different, and the Navy ones are different because they have to have tail.
But whose stupid idea was that? Why not make them all vertical takeoff and lift?
Because of fuel requirements and speed and weight. The A and Bs are faster and lighter than the Cs are. They're for different types of missions. That's all, really. Jimmy, why do you build a $14 billion aircraft carrier and you've got these F-35s that are going to be on this aircraft carrier?
You don't build a launch system.
And you don't build a launch system that can use the freaking things.
I mean, we're still using steam catapults, right?
No, the new carriers have kinetic catapults.
No, the kinetic catapults. Okay, yeah. That's the problem.
And so they can't be used.
So they don't. So what happens if the kinetic system goes
someone
down?
Someone somewhere should be getting fired. That's all I'm saying. Someone dropped the ball somewhere.
Goes down.
I mean, how long have we have been designing this carrier since 2006? What is this? 2023. And in that whole effing time, nobody said, "Oh, we should make it so the F-35s can fly." So right now, currently, these big high dollar ships we got in the Persian Gulf, we got 3 super carriers over there right now, cannot use the F-35. Oh, F-35 can land on them. Oh, but guess what? The bitch can't take off.
Do we really have 3 super carriers in the Persian Gulf right now?
That's what they said today. 3.
You know what that means.
Yeah, it means we're going. Right? Yeah, we're probably going to war.
It means it's going to be a precision strike on Iran's nuclear program.
It might be because it's. I was surprised because I thought the Ford was coming home. Last I had heard, she was steaming home.
They did announce that, but it's not here. It's not coming back anymore.
Somewhere in the role for today's intro for the show, the article's actually in there. It's well, who sent me this? Becoming great. Oh yeah. Oh, this is the article I was telling you about earlier. This is from Focus Online. Interview with Angela Stent, Putin expert. My impression is that he is becoming increasingly paranoid daily. I hope not. Because, I'm sorry, one of the NATO commanders said he has to be unstable because he knows there is no way for him to win a war against NATO. Because NATO is not just going to fight against the United States; it's going to fight pretty much with half of Europe.
Damn,
sorry, guys.
How many countries are in NATO? 35?
I forgot. I have to go look, to be honest with you.
Something like that. 30 some countries are going to come after him. So
I know. Well, we just added 2 or 3.
Which carriers are there? Look, was it the Ford, the Eisenhower?
Oh,
what's the third one?
I don't know. I didn't even know we had 3, unless they're talking about one of the Nimitz class. And but I didn't think they called them super carriers anymore. Let me see. Where was that article at? Damn, come on, science to stop. What y'all getting all crazy about now? Where is my Facebook page at? The easiest way to look for it.
All right, so here this article says, hang on a second. Oh gosh.
Jimmy, if you've got it, send it. We're just looking for it. Yeah. I'm just looking for it on Facebook because it was in the thing. All I have to do is find it. No, it's
So
on
this
my
is
Facebook
this is
page.
January 1st. The Gerald R. Ford was recalled to its home port, but I think that doesn't say anything else after that.
Yeah, as soon as I can I get my Facebook page up, I'll find it. But what do you mean? That is the code, stupid thing. Okay, thank you. No, I don't want to reset my password.
Yeah, they got the Eisenhower and the Ford so far that I can see. And here's another one. What are they saying? Ford, Normandy, and Eisenhower.
Is Normandy a carrier?
I think it's a cruiser.
Mm.
So maybe there's only 2 carriers up there.
All right, so Iran might be okay.
It might be. Yeah.
If the 3 showed up, I'd be a little concerned.
Let's see. It's where did it? Why won't it let me?
Fleet.
Oh, it's giving me shit about getting into my Facebook for some reason or another. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, we don't care about nothing in October, people. So it's a Dwight Eisenhower.
Yeah, Eisenhower, Ford, and USS Normandy is a cruiser. Probably a guided missile cruiser.
Well, no, I'm trying to think of the one that was there before the Eisenhower. There was one that was a different one. It wasn't the Eisenhower. I can't think of the damn name of it, but
The Ford's been there since January 1st.
yeah, the Ford sailed in there with another carrier besides this one.
No, these articles aren't saying.
The Gerald Ford monster ass aircraft carrier.
How many aircraft can that one of those things? At least that one.
I don't know. They only say stuff like 125 and 114 and stuff like that, which is a decent amount of aircraft. But it's not. Something's not right with that because we carry more than that on a Nimitz. So they never, like top speeds, they never actually ever tell you. Right. They don't usually tell you what the flight deck will hold. Because it's not the flight deck. All underneath here, this is all elevator and this is all hangars all under here. And there's like 3 floors of hangars and all of them will be full up with aircraft. What was that, Pete? Yeah, no, I don't know.
So it consists of 5. Nimitz aircraft carrier Ronald Reagan, carrier Air Wing, 5.
Well, that's the one. Ronald Reagan was there, yeah. So it's a Reagan, the Ford. There? It sounds like we got a whole battle group there, actually. The other day when I was
the 5th Fleet, the entire 5th Fleet is there, which consists of the Ronald Reagan, the Eisenhower, and the other one we just mentioned. Those are the 3 carriers.
Ford. So if the Ronald Reagan is still there,
and then there was 2 smaller carriers with them, so there was 5 there total.
Yeah, there's 2 small. One is what is that one? Carrier Air Wing CVW 5, whatever that one is.
Yeah,
didn't get the name of it.
That's probably like a Harrier carrier or a jump jet or something like that.
Yeah, it could also be a troop carrier with boats or hovercraft.
Mm-hmm. It's I don't know. We got a lot of firepower over there for just babysitting Israel. Is all I'm saying.
This fleet's huge. I mean, 3 carriers is big. 3 frontline.
Actually, carriers. Jimmy, we don't have 7 fleets anymore. I'm not exactly sure where they all went, but some of them.
We got. Hang on a second. I had that up here a minute ago.
And then we're talking about building an aircraft carrier for the Japanese, which really surprised me.
That's not surprising at all.
For a long time, we wouldn't even.
They're using our used up Coast Guard ships for their Navy.
Think about this. They were the only people on the planet that built carriers that could compete with ours. They were it. Nobody else could even come close.
Not really, because their decks were made out of wood, and it's so they caught on fire pretty quickly.
Yeah, but they were replaceable pretty quickly too, as long as you had the planks on board.
Yeah, true. But I mean, you take a bomb and it'll fall through wood and make it fall into your
But
ship.
you're not supposed
you have
to
a
be
concrete
letting
deck, it
people.
could skitter off into the water. So I mean,
You're not supposed to be just letting people blow up the top of your aircraft carrier, man. That's a no-no. You're supposed to be
kind of how it
shooting
worked in World War
FOBs.
II. Is we had to kind of strafe down the long way of the plane or long way of the boat to get a bomb down.
No shit.
You can't go that way across the ship. You're going to miss it. You have to come the long way down to drop a bomb and hit those decks.
So we've got this fleet in in the Middle East, and then we've got a dozen United States and Japanese warships, including 2 UF aircraft carriers, are doing exercises near the Philippine Sea of Taiwan.
Yeah, that's
so we have a massive deployment out. We're really showing the world, look, do you really want to piss us off? We will kill you from all over the place. Because
I think they're getting intel that China's going to roll the dice this year in Taiwan. That's probably why
they
they're
might,
there.
and they might be. And we want Taiwan to know we want look. Well, because that new election made Xi Jinping look like a fool, and
yeah. I mean, I think it's there as an exercise, right? In quotes, but I think it's there in case something happens. They're close.
Yeah. Well, I understand. So and now Ping did make us an offer. He said he would not invade Taiwan as long as we didn't say Taiwan was a sovereign nation. He said as long as we agreed that it was still part of China, China would not invade it, just like they agreed not to invade Hong Kong, but they couldn't be considered sovereign nations because Hong Kong wanted to go be free. And, of course, we didn't let that happen, but we should have, but we didn't.
Well, it was Britain, right? They had a lease until, 1997? And the lease
it was 100 years.
Yeah,
people don't. Yeah. And when you look at China, when Britain got it 100 years ago, and look at it today, I mean, it's freaking amazing. And China really wants to model their whole country after it. It's well, no, Jackie, there was a lot of secrets in Hong Kong when it changed hands. Yes, there was. A lot of companies stayed and stayed doing business with the Hong Kong government. It's a lot of money. I mean, with the Chinese government, a lot of money to be made in Hong Kong. We still have servers there ourselves. We have 3 servers in Hong Kong, and it's a big place with lots and lots and lots and lots of people. It's huge.
Yeah, it's a huge city.
It's a great port.
It's like New York, isn't it? Like the size of New York.
It's got a great port in it and stuff. It's just a good place.
Hey, Google, how big is Hong Kong?
The surface area of Hong Kong is 1,064 square miles.
1,064 square miles. How many people live there?
She said she don't effing know, man.
Hey, Google, how many people live in Hong Kong City?
In 2021, the population of Hong Kong was 7,413,100.
About the size of New York.
Yeah.
Hong Kong's roughly the same size as the Army's National Training Center in the Mojave Desert. Yeah. Almost the same size. It's also the same size as the state of Rhode Island.
See, that's not bad.
That's huge for a city. That's huge.
Yeah, I know it is. And what's that? What you sent me, Jack? What is this you just sent me, man? What the hell did you just send me? This looks like jibber jabber. Hold on, let me see if I can open this up. What is this? There are 20 aircraft carriers in service today. Okay, I'm glad to see that.
And 3 of them are in Persian Gulf.
Yeah,
or
2 of them in Taiwan. Yeah. Well, no, there's 20 in service, Jackie. That means all together. So the U.S. has at least 11 out there. So there's 9 others in service besides that. Queen Elizabeth. It's actually it's in port, having something done to it. Yeah. The Gerald Ford. Look at it. This thing is huge. I was watching it the other day on a full battle turn. That son of a bitch was massive big. Yeah, I think you could land a jet on a battle turn. You couldn't have done that on a Nimitz. The INS, what is that? Fikirmiritia. It's an Indian naval. It's one of them ones that's got the the lift on the end. Yes, length 930 feet. Was bought from the Soviets in 1987. Commissioned in 2013 in the Indian Navy. Yeah, they got their own ship. The Lion, the China's first combat capable aircraft carrier. That's another Soviet crap ship, by the way. Same one the Indians I got. Same exact ship. So we
Are
know
the
everything
Chinese
about
buying
it.
old Russian Navy, or are they
Yep.
building their own
Yep.
off of the Navy designs?
I mean, most of the older stuff, I think all the older stuff was they purchased from the Russians. They might have
Yeah.
one that they built. Is that right?
Yeah, they as far as I know, almost everything India is driving in the ocean right now came from Russia. Russia started selling off its fleet instead of dismantling it, and they couldn't afford it anymore. And really, they just didn't have the old Soviet fleet. I mean, it was too big for what their country they had left. They only have 180 million people in Russia now, and back then it was probably less than 110 million. So they really couldn't keep that fleet anymore. They had to go. The fleet at one time was 3-4 ships to every one ship we had in the water. It was a massive fleet, and it was actually a pretty decent fleet. It wasn't crappy construction, but in today's world, it would be considered a load of crap, is what it'd be considered.
So I think I have a list
Yeah.
here of Chinese surface, at least their surface ships.
Yeah. So
roughly 500 vessels, 2 aircraft carriers, 1 being fitted out, so a 3rd one on the way. Landing helicopter docks, they got 3 of those. Amphibious transport docks. These are all carriers, by the way. 8 of those. LSTs, landing ship tanks, they got 36. 36 transports for their tank force. Wow, that's a lot. Ballistic missile submarines, 7. Nuclear attack subs, 9. Conventional attack subs, 45. Destroyers, 49. Frigates, 42. Corvettes, 72. Missile boats, these are like PT boats, 107 of them. Submarine chasers, 26. Gunboats, 17. Those are like river boats. Mine countermeasure vessels, 36. Repunchment oilers, 16. That's not a lot. And then auxiliary various vessels, 233. So that's not very strong.
So the 2 carriers that they currently have, one was an ex-Soviet carrier.
Yep.
It was like 68% complete. And so I guess they bought it and completed it. And then the second one is China's first domestically produced aircraft carrier. That's the Shandong. I'm guessing based on this, it was kind of the same design. The Fujian is the 3rd one that they're working on, and then that's a different design than the prior 2, and it's going to be the largest. I think all of these things are, powered by fuel. I mean, not fuel, but diesel or whatever.
Diesel and
fossil fuel, whatever. I don't know specifically what it is. There's a 4th carrier that they're planning. I think it's the Type 004, and that will feature nuclear propulsion, or is planned to feature nuclear propulsion. So we'll see.
Hopefully,
we still have 20. So there are 2, and the 3rd one is on the dry dock being built. So I mean, they're no threat to our Navy whatsoever.
Well, they're submarines. The submarines and the cheap missiles would be the things I'd be worried about, right? Because they have a butt ton of
submarines.
Missiles.
They have 45. Let's just call it 54, 61 submarines total. We have them outnumbered submarines at least 10 to 1. We got what, 80 Los Angeles class attack subs at least. Let me find out.
The Wolf Pack, we usually keep 4 to 1 on everything, but that's just so we can go hunt down nuclear subs, which China don't really have that many of. But still, we want to know where they are. We want to know where the Russians are. We want to know where everybody is that we can know about. Plus, we've got new systems all around the oceans. It makes it a lot harder to move around than it used to be. We don't actually have to be there anymore to know where somebody is. Plus, so Elon Musk and I forgot the other company put up a new satellite that the Space Command uses that can actually see submarines underwater. So pretty soon we'll be able to track all the subs in the world from above and always know where they are. And if they're right,
Didn't we have like a sea wolf crash into an undersea mountain?
yeah, we've had shit. We've had all kind of shit. We had a Russian American sub collide in the Gulf of Mexico, which everybody's still wondering how the hell that happened. Plus, the Russians weren't supposed to be there, so and we just ran into their ass. I think it was so the whole world would know what was going on. But we had one hit a wall in the Marinara Trench and got lucky and settled on a cliff until repairs were done. We've effed up a few subs over the years. And people don't realize, people think all of our subs can go to the bottom of the ocean. People, they can't. None of our subs can. No. A couple of them have diving bells that can go way down, but the subs can't. No.
This is too much pressure, right?
Yeah, this isn't the Sea Hunt. Yeah, this isn't. I forgot most of our subs can go down not near as far as you think they can, 2,800 feet, 1,800 feet, because they're big and all that pressure pushing against them can crush them. Well, it's the same for all submarines. It's not just American subs. No, and our subs carry. So we have different kind of subs. We have cruise missile submarines. We have nuclear warhead submarines. We have hunter-killer submarines. The hunter-killers, all they do is track other people's subs around the world. So we know where they are in case there's a war, because the day we declare war, the first thing they do is kill every submarine they can find.
Here's something I found interesting also about the U.S. Navy. The current United States Navy has approximately 470 ships in both active and reserve fleets. Of those, approximately 45 are proposed for or scheduled for retirement by 2026, and approximately 85 new ships are in either the planning and ordering stage or under construction right now.
Yeah,
China has a bigger navy.
Their navy is bigger than ours, but ours is larger in capital ships, and theirs is not.
Well, we already knew we wouldn't let them, because we're more about quality than quantity. But it's we'll see, because if Trump gets back in, we'll triple our shipbuilding capabilities. So.
When I was looking at the way the makeups look, they have more tenders than we do, and we have more large attack vessels than they do.
So our understanding of the cosmos may change after this structure found in the depths of the universe. So they found this thing that is so big they can't wrap their heads around it.
Where did they find it?
It's in deep space somewhere. It says astronomers have discovered a colossal structure formed by the galaxies and a galaxy cluster. It's like it's almost like something made it. It's like a spiral. It's like a ring of galaxies that make this huge, massive thing, and nothing can explain how it came to be. They're just awed by it. Because and I used to say this all the time when I first got into physics. I used to say, look, the Big Bang Theory can't be correct because galaxies cluster together and sometimes they slow down. So in the Big Bang Theory, everything pushes out, and it's like any bomb. When you were a kid, put a firecracker into something, you blew it up, it all went out one direction. It was the same in different directions. The same thing for us. But now we realize that there are clusters of galaxies that cluster together and hold together and stay together. And we seem to have these ones that are not moving in space. They seem to be anchored and still have clusters. It's almost like something, and we don't know. And these could be advanced cultures that every galaxy they make friends with, they bring into the thing, and it just joins a federation of some kind. We just don't know what it is, but no one can explain it. And then there's that other one where they're pretty sure they found a Dyson sphere. They're even more sure now than they have been in the past. They said this thing is so regular the way it goes out, and there's no light from it at all. They said it's not an asteroid field or anything like that, because there would be some light piercing through an asteroid field. They said whatever this is solid and it blocks the light out completely. And they said it's growing, so that's why they think it's some type of sphere. Look, people, we don't know what's in deep space because we can't get there. Nobody's invented faster than light travel yet. Whoever does will be filthy, stinking, wealthy beyond belief.
It looks like they found two structures. Check this out.
Yeah, I think it was.
Link here, and you can look at the article.
So when are they going to tell us that they found life on Mars?
Not until. Oh no, they'll tell you they found like a mouse or some grass or something like an amoeba, some shit. They're not going to tell you about intelligent life until they find an artifact first. Even if they know there's intelligent life right now, see, the stepping stone theory has always been the same. It started about 80 years ago, And it's been slowly getting man used to the fact that aliens may be real in lots of different ways. And it's worked really well. I mean, almost half the shit you see on TV now has something to do with aliens or movies.
Right.
So it's been working really well. And now we're finding life in other worlds. We're pretty sure there's going to be life in many places in our own solar system. I've been saying that for 3 decades. So the thing about it is we need an artifact. We need something that shows that there's intelligent life, but there's no threat to us. We slowly have to be brought into this because the majority of the world is not ready to know there's extraterrestrials out there. They're going to flip out.
A fossilized man-made village on Mars.
Religion will triple overnight.
The structure still standing from decades ago.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, maybe in the Sedona area over there, we'll find, what looks to be, some ruins. And some ruins that are, 50 million year old ruins. Okay, well, 50 million, we ain't got to worry about them. So we can explore Mars and get on Mars and start inhabiting Mars and slowly start to understand that there's life. We might find maybe a newer artifact, say out on Oort cloud or Pluto or a Titan or one of the other moons out there, Europa, and then realize that, look, it's probably here. And then somewhere along that line, probably be Viking. Somebody will probably pick up Viking. Hello. Is anybody listening? Hello. Is anybody listening? These stupid humans don't listen to anything. And they'll follow the signal back. And one day we're sitting here. And the problem is America. So if they come in mass, we're going to freak out because every movie we've ever seen when they came in mass, they were invading. So we're going to flip out.
They have. There were all those flaps back in the 50s. Anytime we did like a massive hydrogen bomb test, we had like a major flap. We would have hundreds of
and
there
was 2-week period in 52 or 53 with a 9 to 11, 12, 15 UFO flap going over the White House and Congress, right in the middle of
1952.
And fire planes were dispatched to the scene. And this is on. It's in the Washington Post. It's on all kinds of news.
Yeah, but everybody forgets. It's just like the entire species has like this memory loss about this stuff. But it happened. Like every time we would do it, like if you just plot the number of sightings against major nuclear tests. I mean, even like abductions, like the Pascagoula incident. Did you know that place they were making nuclear attack submarines in Pascagoula at the time? Mm-hmm. Right, there's like high correlation between these sightings and nuclear.
Now they build Aegis cruisers or a version of the Aegis cruiser.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing because different societies are more open to different things. So in the 50s, they were more open for extraterrestrial life. They were ready to see it.
Yeah,
at least
but I mean,
this country.
We were talking about this on Jeff's show just before this one. If you look back at some of the interviews of some like they had kind of a aliens in the desert thing in Nevada and Las Vegas, and if you look at those interviews, some of those people are so kooky. I mean, they're just absolute nuts, and that their stories are probably bogus. Mm-hmm. Yet it's these people that have ruined it for modern day. People still go back and go, "Oh, well, you're just a bunch of kooks." Well, yeah, right. Okay, there are a bunch of kooks in this research genre, but they're not as nutty as they were in the 50s. I mean, just go back and look at that video. It's the black and white, and I forget what they called it. Something in the desert.
You have nuclear launch officers, guys who are in charge of 10-minute man.
We have
one missiles.
legitimate, military officers and whistleblowers who were part of these programs. That there's that one guy that I don't know his name, but he had a full beard, and he was working on one of the one of the missile programs. I don't know if he was at White Sands or somewhere in California, but he talks about a missile launch where the missile goes up. And it's like the UFO comes in, shoots a beam, goes here, shoots a beam, goes here.
Bob Jacobs. Bob Jacobs.
Yes, he's been interviewed hundreds of times. He's never flapped on his story, and there's actual video. He says they filmed it. There's
this is like the closest kept secret in the U.S. national security state. Yeah. It's like everybody knows it's real. Nobody and
nobody wants to admit that it is. Yeah,
it has such a stigma associated with it because of all the disinformation, misinformation, destruction of reputations that people just won't like it. But if you just spend a week reading this stuff, sure, there's a lot of first there's a ton of disinformation, right, designed to
Yeah, and you can
entrap
sift through
people
that
and
pretty
whatnot.
quickly.
And then there's a bunch of hoaxers and stuff like that. But there is a body of evidence that it is undeniable that, and I'm not saying it's from outer space. Who knows, right? It could just be they live here, right? They have bases in the sea, in the ocean, like off Catalina. Who knows, right?
One thing that
In
helped
fact, there
keep
was an
the
admiral.
17 one of the things that helped keep the 117 secret was that all of the sightings of it over the airspaces it was being flown on in the northern part of the country above, Nevada, they were calling it a UFO, and the top secret programs that were running that system, the Skunk Works, they liked that because it attracts information, it attracts attention away from them, and people are looking for stuff from another planet. Yet that was a plane that we developed that went under UFO stigma.
Yeah, I think that's what the
20,
Phoenix
30 years.
Lights were too. I think that was like an air.
It's
an Air
probably
Force
a platform, probably a
platform.
TR3B sort of type of platform that we have that they were wanting
because it wasn't like moving and like really jerk. It was just kind of like a remote.
It wasn't going very fast.
Automated.
It wasn't making any noise. Yeah.
So, and like to your point, a lot of this misinformation is also deliberate, just to obscure other Skunk Works projects and things
other types of earthly bound projects, but they can't all be because of the body of evidence from centuries and centuries and centuries ago. And it's enough circumstantial evidence that even without a dead body, even without the murder weapon, and even without motive and opportunity, we have enough evidence to get a conviction. We just don't have enough of the other stuff to put it in court.
Well, we used to preach all the time that in a court of law you could easily win this as a case because you don't need you don't have to have parliamentary evidence. You can do circumstantial evidence, but the thing of it is eyewitness evidence is great, but we all know it sucks, but it's still great. So if you get 500 people or 50 people or 20 people who said, I saw it in a court, well, that's eyewitness testimony. You got to kind of take it for what it is. And that's exactly what it is. It's eyewitness testimony. So
but the only testimony that can be taken in court without cross-examination is deathbed confessions. And so there are lots of those, lots of Jesse Marcel's deathbed convention, his son's deathbed convention. I'm sure Stanton Friedman has one, but he's not necessarily a witness or a whistleblower. But people who are directly involved with handling some of this material and or in programs that are building and de-engineering these things, their deathbed confessions are as good as gold, just as anything else. But yet they're not looked at with any kind of serious, scientific minds. Well,
so you've got Neil Armstrong, who said that we were told not to go back to the moon. No. He never wavered the whole time he was in. He was a senator, and he still never wavered. But you've got Buzz Aldrin, who says we never went to the moon. You've got Edgar Mitchell, who says yes, we did go. Matter of fact, I was having dinner at the Washington Press Club with Edgar Mitchell and Buzz Aldrin, and Buzz told me that, and Edgar said, "Will you stop with the bullshit?" He said, "You know what that does when people hear that." He actually got on his ass about it. Still, it was nice to have lunch with dinner with two of my favorites, two of my heroes for growing up. So, but he said that's what Neil's always told him, and he said he would believe every word Neil ever told him. So, he's pretty sure that's happened. And he said since then, he's been told and seen things that suggest everything that Neil said was true, and that we were told to stay off the moon.
And something that most people might not remember is that Neil was the golden boy.
He was the golden boy.
Before they went to the moon, Neil was the golden boy. Clean military record, just great, awards that he got through his military career. Then he goes to the moon, comes back, and he's basically blacklisted for what he says because he's saying these things that NASA and I guess the government don't want him to say. I mean, he became sort of a pariah in his later.
Well, let me see. So what was it? 17 was our last mission.
Was it 18? Allegedly.
Right.
Was it 18? Right. Well, no, there was 2 missions that were paid for that we never used. I know that
3,
for a fact.
18, 19, and 20.
So 2, but I know 2 of them never got used. So 18 supposedly got used. Well, now I don't know for what.
The equipment for all 3, 18, 19, and 20 is missing.
Well, no, 19 and 20, they know what happened. No, 19 and 20, they know what happened to it. So that's not as a big a deal. Yeah, we got into some serious stuff in that. But 19 and 20, they found that. They also found just recently a lot of the footage that supposedly also went the way of the dodo bird. So my problem is with the footage, all I need to see is the original can tape. I don't want to see anything that's been digitally enhanced by on a computer.
Yeah.
So I need. So recently, NASA put up 21 of the cans, so people could actually, because a lot of people were asking, because people weren't believing them. They were thinking somebody just went back and made footage and were redoing the footage.
Yeah, it's on videotape
or doing on AI. But no, they put the cans up. So, but they didn't find all of it by any means. They think a lot of it got tossed, thrown in the trash. They think a lot of the Apollo stuff, all the Apollo missions.
I think most of the Apollo stuff has been trashed or reused, particularly like data tapes and magnetic tapes that they could reuse. They reused all that videotape that they had back in the early part of videotape. They ran out of it. They couldn't buy any new stuff, so they recycled it. That's what NASA has said in the past.
Yeah, and a lot of that's probably true, but I have not ever interviewed one astronaut.
But I don't know, why would you? I mean, if you're NASA, why would you erase magnetic footage of your space program? I mean, the inaugural space, it doesn't make sense. Most of the stuff that's gone missing,
actually,
they don't have any good validation.
I remember what Carper Reed said. He said all the NASA missions were on television. He said, so there should always be copies, all of it. He said,
have you seen some of those video copies? They're horrible.
They are horrible, but still, he said there's copies of everything that was ever done is in the media.
I think there's stuff that's still missing. They didn't say
there might be, and there might be, but I have never talked to any astronauts, not one. I've interviewed probably 20, 25 by now, that never said they didn't see something in space. Not one. Matter of fact, 3 or 4, like Jeff Chandler told me the same thing. He goes, he said, I get pissed when I tell somebody I found ET. He said, my job is to go look for ET and find ET. We tell them we find ET, they laugh at us. He said, even though NASA is fully functionally aware of many missions where there was sightings up close and personal with Skylab, with the ST missions, with the new space, with the old, I guess it's the old space station now. There's been many, many of them. And they had to change the language in the Apollo, Mercury, and Gemini missions because it happened so much that it was starting to scare people. So that's when they switched over to calling them reindeer, Santa Claus. There goes a sled. Or they would just come up with some stupid name.
Yeah, in Vietnam,
and
they were
still today,
helicopters or helos.
And believe it or not, even still today, they still use that shit at NASA. The difference is now, after the STS, I think it was 41 mission,
48.
After that, everything got a 7-second delay. Everything.
48 was one where you see the flash and the energy beam comes up from around New Zealand.
Yeah, NASA is like,
and then it just reverses course, whatever there's. Yeah.
I mean, well, it's going along like this, and all of a sudden it just goes like that, like off screen. Right. I mean, like almost instantly, and then where it would have been if you follow the track, where it would have been, that laser goes right through it. It would have killed it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Well, NASA said it reversed course because they had an engine flash adjusting course. And
they were saying that it was
ice piece. They said it was a piece of ice.
Flash. I think it was the flash of the weapon being fired from Earth.
So they said there was a chunk of ice that was just floating alongside the shuttle, and then the thing shot up. And then at the same time, the thing shot up. The shuttle made an adjustment, and the ice went the other way. I could buy that, except for the damn thing took off so fast and kept going. Then I was like, no, wait a minute, man.
And
it's accelerating.
There's a really good YouTube.
And wouldn't it spray? Like, wouldn't the heat turn the ice into water?
Well, there's really close particles in the camera that are right by the camera that you would see. If there was a reaction control thruster right here below the camera, those things right near the camera would have moved. Not something way out there.
The reaction control thrusters, I don't think use fuel. I think they used air, compressed air.
They used compressed air. Yeah. But they would still move anything. You would see the compressed air go through the camera, which you don't. The flash is way off camera.
There's a spray flash when it first.
There's a really good analysis on YouTube. I don't remember the guy's name, but he was like a physicist, and he analyzed the whole video from the beginning to the end. And it's long. It's like 14 minutes long if you watch the whole thing. But from the beginning, he follows the main object that gets shot at, and he points out that as it comes in, it's going pretty fast, and it slows down to enter the atmosphere of Earth, and just before it enters the atmosphere, that's when you see the flash, and then it goes way off base, and then the laser goes where it would have been had it kept going forward.
There's
So
been
it's pretty hard to debate this guy. He's a scientist. He knows he's a space scientist.
Well,
He analyzes the whole
Chandler-
video in a way that you can't argue with him.
I don't know if you can still find it, but Chandler had put together, it was like 12 or 14 of the best shuttle sightings. There's some good ones. I mean, there was some.
There's a
pretty
lot of
bright-
good. There's one where the thing goes. It comes in from out. It comes in from out here, goes zoom, and then again it goes back out. It comes in fast, stops, and then goes right back out the way it came. That's one of the most tremendous ones.
I know. You hear, so there's a mission. They're doing something outside, and you hear the guy go, "Fuck, what was that?" And you see the other guy's head shaking, like, and then you hear the guy in the cargo bay going, "Fuck, I just seen it too. What was it?" Because they thought maybe it was some debris or something. Because it's dangerous out in space these days.
Mhm.
And then the guy said, "Oh shit, it's back." And you see the one guy turn his head as much as he could in his helmet, and he's like looking over his shoulder, going, "Oh, I think it's back," and it's just watching us. And then you hear NASA say, "Okay, go back to work," and they cut the feed, and that's all you heard. And but they got that, they got part of that, they got a lot of different stuff. And then there's lots of stuff from the Mercury and Apollo Gemini. Most of that's old tape, but there's lots of that. And the astronauts would go talk, and because back in the '60s and in '70s, they would ask them about aliens and shit like that. I remember they were giving an interview before the astronauts were giving an interview in New York on some local AM station up there. And the guy says, "Well, have you seen aliens?" He said, "I don't know what we've seen." He said, "But there seems to be something out there that seems to be paying attention to us." And they must have got, buku phone calls after that. And then you never heard him talk about it because he probably got reprimanded, because they always got reprimanded anytime they said anything.
It seems very likely that there are more than one, let's just say, exoplanetary civilizations that are interested in this general area of space.
There might be, or it might just
closer to like 15 or 20 different.
Or it just might be a consortium. It just might be a consortium, and who's allowed to visit and who's not. Because
we don't know the story, but there are a lot of people. There seems to be a lot of activity outside of this planet that we can't explain.
Yeah, well, think about it. We're way out on the edge of the galaxy in the third spiral arm. We're a good jumping spot if you jump into somewhere.
We're
else.
actually between spiral arms, so we're outside of the norm for most planetary systems. Most systems in this galaxy are 2 and 3 star systems. We're a 1-star system out by itself, no nearby neighbors. Our nearest nearby neighbor is 40 light years away. Most of the other stars have stars that are 1 light year, 2 light year, half a light year away. They're very, very close.
Oh yeah, but we've got the red giants that are nearby us, and then we got like Proxima, and then they're all within 4 light years of us. They
but
there's
nothing
not
living. What we think of as the first and closest system that has a living planet is 40 light years from us.
Not anymore. We think it's Proxima B, which is 3.85 light years from us. Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah, so they're thinking. Of course, we say thinking because no one knows until we go there. What they found so they found something the other day that suggested there may be life on another planet, some type of an industry. Some of the chemicals they found in the atmosphere suggested.
Yeah, it's like methane or something.
Yeah, something. So it may be some type of industry. This one they just found they said it had about the same atmosphere as we did, suggesting that there's something probably alive there. Whether it's technologically, they can't really tell, but there's probably something alive there. So, see, in the beginning, NASA and all of them was stupid, especially the astronomers. See, what happens with people that are really, really intelligent, they just don't have any common sense. So you build these brilliant science. So while you're doing this and you're looking for these things, why didn't you build on things that may be easier to find, like things that may be chemicals in the atmosphere that may suggest technologies?
And that's what the next generation of telescopes are going to do.
They would be more abundant, easy to look for. And I've always said, because I remember when they found the first 6 exoplanets, this young guy was doing a thesis, and he started using lasers to hunt planets. And then he was the first one to ever do it. Matter of fact, we interviewed him on UFO Undercover. And he started looking for, and he was the one that found the first laser that hits our planet every 6 months. It hits our planet for, I forgot how many minutes, like 11 minutes. They have no idea what it is. They do not think it's from a star, a pulsar, a quasar. They're pretty sure it's probably artificial, but they have no idea. They don't even know where it's coming from. All they know is it's coming from
just by the nature of it, I believe laser is a man-made thing.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not.
no,
It's not something. It's not. I don't
no.
think it's anything that's naturally occurring.
They have things that can kind of fool you, like pulsars and stuff like that.
But we know
So
about pulsar.
yeah, so this they don't know what it is, and he found it, and they found other ones since then. And let's be honest, once you reach a certain phase, you're not going to be using radio in less than 5 decades. We'll pretty much have phased out radio altogether. I mean, in change of wireless and stuff like that. Think about it now. You can go get a wireless and, put wireless, make your whole internet in your house wireless if you want to. And I can't because I have business connections, because I have all the shit running on them. But you could go one of some Noble boxes for $50 a month and run your whole house. There's no wires connected to it other than the power wire. Everything else is wireless. And that's new technology. And we're starting more and more and more. We're moving to things like light technologies, laser technologies. Most of our fast computers are going to be using light. It's just different technology. So, when you're looking for a society with radio waves, you're looking for a society like from the 50s and 60s. We'll say from the
Right.
50s to the 90s is what you're really looking at. As this society enhances and grows in another 50 years, we won't be giving off radio waves like that anymore. If you're listening to us, you might even think we died. 100 years of radio and then silence.
Yeah, I mean, radio really got started in the 1880s. Here we are, 2023. That's just a little over 200 years.
Yeah, we've only been broadcasting since 1936. Strong enough signals to get into deep space. That was the Hitler broadcast of the Olympics.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and that was the first time. But since then, so it's been not quite 100 years we've been broadcasting. But all that's going to be going out forever. It's going to just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. So people, somebody may fly here after watching I Love Lucy. I mean, really, that's not the society they're going to find when they get here, and let's not hope it's not like one of them stupid movies where they start believing shit they see on our planet is real.
Galaxy Quest.
How do you know what you're watching if it's real or not? Actually, Jimmy, we're getting ready to go. We got about 5 minutes and we're going to roll out of here. So you got something for us? The last poll numbers, you know what? Hold on. Let me see if I can find them. The last poll numbers I seen had pretty much had Humpty Trumpty winning. The only poll numbers I've ever seen in the last 2 months that don't have Trump winning is either NBC or some lefty shit you don't even want to talk about. Biden's border decision. What an idiot. Yeah. So the Ukrainians have been building realistic. We were talking about this last week. They're building realistic decoys of radars and missile systems, and Russia's been attacking them nonstop. They're blowing up the fake ones. Okay.
So
Hubble
they have
finds
a 100% kill rate on cardboard targets.
Hubble finds water-rich planet with steamy atmosphere. Oh, look at this! Huh?
When did that come out?
It's on Earth magazine. It just came out. Just an article just popped up as I was looking for the other one. Look at that. The quest to find life. Yeah, we're gonna find life. We keep finding worlds like this. We're gonna find life. Oh man.
Well, it's probably they probably already know. It's probably just the rollout. They're gonna say.
I mean, it's mathematically impossible we're alone in the galaxy. I mean, it's just inevitable that it's going to be known throughout the whole planet.
Whoever came up with the notion that we're definitely alone, given the size of the universe, is just it's more incredible to believe that than to believe that yes, there's life everywhere.
Well, I mean, how do you control a people? I mean, especially a vastly uneducated mass of people, and you have little or no technology. You're talking about people who could overpower you. If you want to take control of them, you have to make them think some spectacular things. So, the whole God story, the religion, and that whole mythos, any mythos, pick any mythos, Greek, Roman, Indian. You put the fear of God in people, they're gonna stay in line a little longer.
Yeah, but you could easily do that just as easily by saying if you don't get your ish together and develop faster and build this pyramid to protect us, then these things that are almost as powerful as gods are going to come here and discover us and kill us all. So,
Yeah.
that'll put the fear of God into you.
Let's see.
Oh,
This is the 270 polls. They have national poll have Trump and Biden 45% each with 10% undecided.
These polls haven't changed. I mean, they're always in the
Who's
40s.
undecided at this point?
Idiot people. See, Georgia, but you
But
see,
everybody's at 45. It doesn't matter who it is. You make the
see,
right
see what
call,
you're seeing
everybody's at
now
45.
is so like Colorado, it's almost a dead neck and tie with 24%. Missouri, Trump's murdering everybody. South Dakota, Trump's murdering everybody. California, Trump's doing 36% with 14% undecided. Georgia, where he lost last time, he's at 50% with 14% undecided. Ohio, he's winning. Pennsylvania is a tie. Wisconsin, he's winning. Minnesota is a tie. Michigan, he's winning. Arizona, he's winning. Nevada, he's winning where he lost last time. North Carolina, he's winning. Texas, he's murderizing people. New York, he's only 4 points behind. New Hampshire, he's only 3 points behind. Florida, he's murderizing. Tennessee, Iowa, Virginia, he's murderizing. He's losing in Washington. He's losing. Damn, he's getting murderized in Mass. He's winning in Alaska.
Yeah. He's going to lose in Maryland.
He's winning in Wyoming. He's winning in Arkansas. He's winning in Montana. He's losing in Illinois. He's winning in North Dakota. He's winning in Indiana. He's winning in Kansas, West Virginia, Nebraska, Idaho, Oklahoma, Kentucky.
Hey, how's he doing in
New
Canada?
Mexico.
I bet he's doing pretty good there, too.
It's Canada. New Mexico, he's losing in. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
The majority, he's so the majority, he's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 states in the blue with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 states undecided. All the rest of them are red. And the states that are undecided are like Nevada, Georgia, which he's already got Georgia pulled. Pennsylvania, he's going to probably take this on. He's going to try to take Wisconsin. It looks like he's going to have an easier time this way around. Hey, guys, I'm just going by what the polls say. Don't hate on me. I'm not the one that makes these damn polls. Haley trails Trump in home state. Of course she trails Trump. She sucks. Look, Nikki, I'm not even trying to be mean to you. You just suck, girl. Let's see. Latest polls on 538 polls. Let's see. Polls ending Kerry Lake. Oh, we give a shit about Kerry Lake. Trump Biden, Trump 45. So this is February 1st presidential election poll. Trump is 45, Biden is 41. The economics, the Economist, U.S. government. This is a liberal site. Trump is tied. This is another liberal site, Daily Chaos at 44. Haley on CNN is ahead of Biden 52-39. Trump's ahead of Biden 49-55 on the CNN polls. That's CNN, people. CNN's pretty freaking blue. Let's see. Fox has Haley losing, but Trump murderizing him. The Shaw polls, Trump's winning. Let's see. Fox polls, Trump's winning, of course. Emerson College, Trump's winning it. Damn, I can't believe it. Trump's winning. Jesus, Trump's winning. Trump's winning. Biden's winning at Quinnipiac.
Who?
At Quinnipiac poll, Quinnipiac University, it's 39-37. Biden.
Is that New York?
I guess. It didn't even say. Yahoo News, which is left, he's got Trump winning. Survey USA, Trump is Biden's winning. University of Southern California, Biden 52, Trump 25. Like that was a surprise. The Morning Consultant, Trump's winning. The Canadian Press, we didn't you just make a joke about Canada? He's winning in Canada.
I just asked, how is he doing in Canada?
I know. Emerson College, Trump 55, Biden 26. Emerson College, he's just a murderizing Biden all the way down the list. I don't know. The current poll has him winning outright.
But also think about this. We've been looking at these polls the last several months, and they really have, they're stagnant. They haven't changed. There's
Not
no
a lot,
dramatic,
no.
there's no dramatic ups or downs. So almost all of them showing Trump ahead of Biden by at least 5%.
Yeah, you see
And-
CNN try to cheat every once in a while, but
Yeah, a couple of you can see cheats in there, but the bulk of them all favor Trump. Even the ones that would favor Biden favor Trump. So it's just.
So this actually helps. This is Georgia Biden poll. Georgia, Trump's killing him in Georgia. So then they show him. So it's a 51-43, right? Then they show Biden Kennedy. Then it goes even more. He does take some votes from Trump, but he takes way more from Biden. So it drops Biden down to 37%. Anywhere Kennedy and Biden drops by at least 10 points.
Yeah, the Democrats have to worry about Kennedy first. They got to find a way to knock him out.
Get him out. Yeah. If they wouldn't have pissed him off, he might have left, but I don't think he's going now. They pissed a guy, excuse my language, people. They pissed him right off.
They added the fuel to the fire, and he's down and determined to prove him wrong.
Here's CNN. What does CNN got to say? CNN polls Trump narrowly leads Biden in general election rematch.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
What is narrowly? Let's see what their narrowly
like 5%, 10%, 8%.
Let's see.
I'd say 5% probably. 1% would fit the bill, but it's going to be more than 1%.
Let's see what we got.
The bulk of the polls are showing that there's at least a 5% gap between the two. So I mean.
And colored voters, Biden gets 57, Trump gets 35. And national voters, Trump is killing him in national votes. It's like 55-35 or something. CNN tries to spin this any way they can to make this look better, but it just doesn't come out. Any way it goes, Biden's losing. They put all kind of bullshit in here to try to make it feel better, to make everybody feel better about it. At least they put, and it was only based on 1,200 people, by the way. Most of these polls don't usually get big numbers for some reason or another. Let's see, 27. The Economist, Trump versus Biden. Let's see what the Economist versus Biden. Trump sucks. I mean, Biden sucks. This has Trump 48, Biden 43.
Again, 5%.
Yeah, well, The Economist is a very liberal thing, so I was kind of surprised to see it quite that high. Yeah, hold on, Jimmy. Let me see these, and we got to get out of here. Let's see right quick. No, I wasn't looking for CNN. Politico. There we go. Politico is so left, it's not even funny. So, Politico, whatever, Politico. We just want to see what your polls say. We want to see how Trump is losing by 800 points. So, let's see. As of, let's see, it's February. What is this? So, we go to January. What? Wait. National Parliament voting intention. What are you talking about? Did we go to like some damn... Yes, we did. What the hell? We're looking at the United Kingdom election. I was like,
how
what?
do you elect a king?
Oh, here we go. NBC polls. Ooh, we're going to see what these are.
Uh-oh.
They rarely favor Trump. Last 2 weeks they have been, but they rarely favor Trump. Okay, plan your vote, how to vote in 2024. Trump doing better in California. Trump doing better in Nevada.
It's because all the Republicans are leaving.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Trump is murderizing all of the candidates in his primaries. Yeah, we already knew that. We already knew all of that. According to NBC, he is 5 points ahead of Biden. That's over the average of 3.5 mistake average. That's a firm lead there.
It's a narrow lead, according to CNN.
Yeah,
narrow.
Yeah, 3.5 to 5. That's a narrow lead. I mean, I wouldn't,
that's pretty much I've won the election lead is what that is.
Yeah. I think 1% is narrow, but
that does not include Kennedy's vote in there. That's him against. The Democrats need to start waking up and putting Kennedy in every poll, or they're going to find themselves in a really bad, scary place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they'll do. They'll vote. They'll blame it on Kennedy. Well, if he wouldn't have turned on the party, and
look, they'll lose baby boomers because baby boomers will see a Kennedy and they'll vote for him.
Yeah, they will. They'll lose.
He's going to siphon votes off of the Democratic tickets.
Right.
So
right.
And they're not. It doesn't seem like they're accounting for that in any of their.
Well,
polls.
they're expecting him to take 18% of the overall vote. 11% of that will be from the Democrats, and 7% will be from the Republicans. The Republicans who don't want to vote for Trump because he's a criminal will probably vote for him instead.
Yep.
But it's still as it stands right now. There are no Democratic. As long as he's running, I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean, Kurt? Michelle Obama could run. As long as Kennedy's in this race, no Democrat will be your next president. No. And he might do it again next time. This guy's pissed. Their party pissed him off, man.
He could wind up being a Bob Dole for the entire Democratic Party.
I don't know how.
Bob Dole, Ross Perot, because Ross Perot did the flip flop.
Yeah.
And then he basically shanked the entire campaign for Bob Dole.
Well, I'm not saying that this guy is, but if they don't get him out, the Democrats are done. And so far, I haven't even seen an effort to get him out. No, they're ignoring him like he's not even there. They don't want to even give him TV time. Well, because if they talk to him like they do about Trump, he'll get even more votes.
Yeah, I mean they're ignoring him in their polls. Like they're not expecting him to have any effect on their candidate's popularity. And I bet you there is. I'll bet you those polls are probably more like closer to like an 8 to 10%.
Well, that's what that NBC poll just said.
Biden and Trump, because they're not adding in the right factors.
Well, that's what
if they were smart, they'd make him an offer. You know what I mean?
Well, they probably already have. There have been
true.
Reports from NBC and CNN that they have made him an offer. He said no. He said he's already wealthy. There's nothing they can really give him that he doesn't already have. He said that because they actually made an offer right when he quit and when he became an independent. They were trying to buy him out to quit running altogether. And the more they offered him, the more pissed this guy got.
Well, I mean, like a political position, like you offer him like the vice president.
But they can't guarantee that, for one thing. They can guarantee him like the nomination for the party to go on the ticket, but they can't guarantee him to win. There's no way. I don't agree with Joe. There's nothing they can offer him that he doesn't already have.
Well, they could probably argue
on his own, but he's money rich.
I doubt they would offer him the VP anyway because of his voice. It'd be hard for him to go out there and campaign.
Have you seen the current VP?
Boy, she's an idiot. But and how do you fire her?
I know they have a little bit of a pickle. They have a little bit of pickle on their hands, right?
Yes, I mean, how do you fire her? It's
how do you get rid of the first multiracial?
I think she has to be impeached. That's the only way you get her out of office.
Yeah, I think she'd have to want to quit actually without causing a stink. Because if they fired a black girl, she's going to leave me more votes. Mm-hmm. Unless she, what do you mean, make Michelle Obama his VP?
That could work actually. But I don't think Michelle Obama would be interested.
No, I mean, why would she want to be VP for him and only for 4 years?
Well, because she might have a chance of being president afterwards. That's why.
She'd have to kill him.
It's no, because he only gets 4 years, so she could come back and run as president if
but
they
to guarantee it, she'd have to kill him while she's still in office as VP.
Oh yeah, to guarantee it. Yeah. Well, he'd probably die anyway in 4 years. He wouldn't have to worry.
I don't think even if he was lucid.
But you see, that sucks for her.
I think his health is a serious. It's a serious issue. I mean, listen to him. The way he slurs his words, he sounds drunk.
Yeah, but think about it. If she became VP, say Michelle did, and he died, she would get that 2 years, right? But she could only run one more time. She couldn't run a second time, so she'd be stuck.
Are you sure? I don't think that's true.
Oh yeah, no, she couldn't run again. You can't serve more than 8 years. That's all you can serve.
As president, she was only in as vice president.
But if she would have served as president for 2 years,
yeah.
so that would. So
you can only have 2 terms.
You can only have 2 terms.
The way I understand, we might have to get a constitutional lawyer in here, but if let's say, for example, she VPs up with Biden, and for some luck of whatever, he wins the election, and then on January 22nd, he kills over dead. She becomes vice president. He goes that
Once she
whole 4
becomes
years.
president, that's it. She's president.
No, but she didn't. She wasn't elected as president.
Doesn't
So if she
matter.
does that 4
She's
years,
still
she
president.
She can still do 4 more or
No,
8 more. Rather.
Once you're
Yeah.
no, Ford couldn't do it. They told him he actually, but they talked about it. He wasn't eligible for more than one term. You can't do more than 8 years, period. That's all you get. You don't get more than 8 years.
Oh,
So even if you could win a second term, you could only serve 2 of the 4 years. You'd be stuck. They're not going to let anybody serve 10 years. They got rid of that because of what's his face with his 12 years in
Truman.
office. Yeah, they said that's enough of that
serve
crap.
3 terms.
No, it was
Yeah.
FDR.
Yeah,
FDR.
whoever what was that went
close.
crazy.
Same time.
Whoever was bucking for 4 terms. I mean, Jesus. Yeah. I mean, I guess if he was doing a great job, but still, it didn't sound like it to me. But no, you're pretty much done. So she.
Oh, actually, this is the rule. So it's a little bit more nuanced than that. So no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected. So if she's
Yeah,
at the
you're
magic just under 2 years,
Oh yeah, if
she
she does
could-
like 18 months, she might be able to, because that's not
Yep.
a half a term. That's
Yep.
only a piece of a term. But once you break that 2 years in a day, that's your term.
yep, you're done. That's your term. You're done.
You're
You can't do it.
done.
You can't do.
Yeah, 2 years has always been the golden mark. What do you mean, Frankie? I don't know if she could win or not. It'd be a hard election for Michelle. Her husband, I know liberals want you to think she was the most popular president ever, but he wasn't. No. What poll says he's at? Oh, what poll says he's got a 75% approval rating? Whatever that is, don't believe that. When he left office, he was sitting at 36%, Obama. Of course, the media says he's the greatest president in the world. Actually, the most popular and greatest president in the world was Ronald Reagan. He's always held the thing forever. And then Clinton was there. Really, Clinton was way the hell up there, too. Well, Democrats hate Reagan. They would
like 3rd or 4th like president overall.
Clinton, they would do anything they could to get rid of Reagan's thing. Yeah. Well, but changes as generations go too. Remember that as newer generations come in, because Kennedy was really popular. Yeah, Kennedy was very popular. Russian state TV urges strikes against key NATO capital. Who can actually think it would be a good thing to attack any NATO anything? Political opponents of Russian TV broadcasts recently discussed the prospects of Moscow launching military strikes on Berlin, Germany. Why would you be stupid?
And why Berlin, Germany?
Because Berlin gave them tanks and gave them some other stuff.
Oh, Berlin. I thought you said Berlin.
The last time they tangled with Germany killed 20 million of them.
I'm thinking that's now they're NATO. They're going to kill more of them. Look, people, I don't know why anybody would think it would be a good idea to attack any European country. They're not only that they're NATO, but they're U.S. allies. Some of them are protectorates. No, actually, Britain is a protectorate of the United States, much different than an ally. It's a whole different thing. Oh, no. So we might let other countries crash and burn, but not England. They would never crash. Britain and the United States is military and politics are so intertangled. I don't even know if we could pull ourselves apart. It wasn't like the EU thing. We're much more tangled. We've been like that since the war ended. Yeah. No, I meant the Civil War.
No,
the war when we broke away had a revolutionary war.
Revolutionary
we have for every year after that we have become closer and closer and closer and closer to Britain.
Minus those few years of the war.
Yeah, we had a couple of slaps around there we had to deal with, but it's
they only burned down Washington in that one, but that's all right.
It shit happens sometimes. It's but really for the last 200 years we've been pretty good friends. It's no, really, we really have been. I mean, and in modern times since World War II, I don't even know if you could pull them apart. I mean, they're so Our militaries are so intense. Well, I don't think Canadians are too. The Canadians' military is wrapped up in ours.
Yep.
A lot of our allies are wrapped up in. No, not Mexico.
Well, I mean,
Mexico's different.
although Canada is now independent, during World War II, they were part of England. They were another country entirely. They were separate.
Well, they're still part of the
entity,
Commonwealth.
granted, but they were part of the British nation or
Well,
British Empire.
Yeah, well, they're still part of the Commonwealth. They're still part of the Commonwealth. It's like
As
India.
they've broken away. They don't pay
Australia.
any taxes to
Yeah,
them. I mean,
India's-
they're allies, but there's no sharing of wealth.
India's still part of the Commonwealth. So is Australia. They all worship now the king. I was going to say the queen, but now it's the king. Zekiel the king. Oh wait, I'm not sure you're supposed to say it that way. But
No, I wouldn't say that on there. But I don't get.
It's still hard. It's still hard to call him King Charles because I've just for how 50 some years of my life I've only known him as Prince Charles. So it's so hard, and it's like changing year. You like the first few months, you write down last year's dates on your checks and stuff.
well, he was in having colon surgery. Hopefully, he ain't got cancer or something. It might be a short-lived king, and then it'd be King whatever his name is. What's the son's name? I forgot his name now. Not the stupid son, the other son.
Oh,
Not the one. Not the one married to our vice president's sister. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I should apologize for that. Really, they're about the
Meghan
same.
Markle. Meghan Markle.
And Meghan Markle's about as dumb as
Harry.
they come.
Well, is she even? I mean, is Harry even Prince King Charles's son?
Not from what I've seen. So
Yeah, he looks exactly like his mother's riding instructor.
Yeah, when you see this guy, he looks so much like him. It's not even funny. Plus, he has his hair where everybody else has lost their hair. So,
And it's red. And it's red hair.
Well, they actually do have ginger in the English family, but it's I haven't seen it in a few generations. So
So it's
I
a
would
recessive gene, if anything.
he just looks the overall build. He just looks like you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what
Same
does that
But
mean?
isn't this royal family also plagued with it's a disease, a genetic disease, where if you get cut, you bleed faster and longer?
They used to be.
Hemophilia.
Yeah. One part of the family was. I don't know if it was George or
It was the Tsar. It was the Tsar for sure.
Yeah, but there was somebody in the king.
Royalty had it too.
Yeah, they had it too. Because they used to call it the werewolf disease. It's what's that ginger? I don't know. England's a weird place. Why they still have a monarchy, I'm not sure. It's not a real monarchy anyway. I mean, they do have a lot of money and a lot of property. What do you mean they could take over? They might be able to take over if something bad was going on.
Well, I mean,
really,
King Charles' wealth, he's like the third or fourth richest guy on the planet, isn't he?
But would you follow King Charles in the battle? Hell no.
No.
I would be like, no, indeed. Now you better go get a real leader. We're going to go killing somebody. Go find some genes of Winston Churchill and bring his ass back as a clone or something. Oh no, you're talking about Coventry. That was a true story. So the English did let Coventry be bombed in World War II. So we had the Enigma. We had got the Enigma code breaker from the Germans, and the Germans didn't know it. And we were launching on Normandy, so we couldn't let anybody know that we knew what was going on. So they had to allow them to bomb that town. Even though they knew it was coming, they couldn't interfere because if they knew if they did, then of course the Germans would have known we had their code breaking machine and they would have changed their plans.
And it also changed our approach to firebombing cities.
Yeah.
Because we were all about military targets only. And then the moment the Germans did that and killed civilians, it was gloves off after that. We just,
it was. It was. So it was a true story. I know the first time I heard it, I'm like, what? But in war is a bitch sometimes. I would imagine for Winston Churchill it was a hard call. He seemed like a man of conscience. Well, you look, anytime you have to order
he fought
people
the
to
border
die.
wars just the same as anybody else.
Well, and plus he lived through Gallipoli, right? Where there was another amphibious invasion that was a disaster.
Yeah.
Right. Like in Turkey.
War's a bitch, people. I mean, it's hell. That's why it's a war. No, we got to get out of here. We way late. We went way over. We're getting out of here. I got to go to bed.
About 40-some minutes.
I got to go to bed. Sean's still awake. He can go dancing afterwards. I mean,
he's on the West Coast.
I'm going.
Joe, you got to give me the code. You got to give me the code for Sunday.
Oh yeah, we got to get you. You hold on when we get out of here, and we'll get it. Guys and girls, we got to go. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. I hope you enjoyed the show. Any moans, groans, bitches, or gripes, please write to Michelle DeRoche, courtesy of Joe Montaldo. And please put on there, we love you, Michelle. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you, people, she will hurt y'all. We do have openings. We have very few free slots open, but we are in the middle of a conversion, which will probably start sometime at the end of summer, which means that so UFO Paranormal Radio is coming back in full version, which means there'll be a whole station just dedicated to that stuff. And United Public Radio, everything on here that's like news and other stuff will be moved to that station. Yes. So, oh no, they'll be in competition with each other. Yes, they will be. Because if you want to listen to us tonight, there may be a paranormal show going up again. I'm not going to tell you who it is. What the hell? You have to go find out for yourself.
Wait till it's scheduled.
And since I know the manager, she's a friend of mine. I can have her write the schedule the way I want her. No, of course I own the place, but I don't have anything to do with the daily operation of the station anymore. It's Michelle's job. I don't, because she's crazy. I don't know. But anyway, we got to go. Again, thanks for tuning in tonight. Sean, well, excuse me, too. Sorry, guys. I don't know where that yawn came from. When you start Sunday?
Yep,
Next Sunday? This Sunday. So he'll be on this Sunday. His first show is going to be about stripping. I heard he's going to get up there and strip for you ladies. Bring your dollars. No tipping, no dollars around here. You better get some 20s out. You better get some 20s out. We ain't no cheapies around this place. $20. Well, because on 20s like a 5 anyway these days, people. Let's just be honest about it.
Economically speaking, that's about right.
So get your 20s out, ladies, and well, you can do a roll up tip on donation page. It's for Sean. I don't know what he's going to show. What the hell are you talking about? I don't even want to see. Look, I'll be like this. What the hell y'all talking about? Anyway,
just the tip, Joe. Just the tip.
That's right. Just the tip. Anyway, we're getting the hell out of here. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good morning, good evening, wherever the hell y'all are on the planet. Maybe you're out there in Australia, you're having a good afternoon. But until tomorrow, I'll be on the author's quill with no, not David. It's Scott. Damn, I don't have it in front of me now. Well, no, David's coming on. David Hankins is coming on, but not now. He's later. We're gonna be going over his book, The Death and a Taxman. He actually got the book part out now. So we're gonna be going over there. But tomorrow, Scott. Oh God, don't ask me, people. I'm getting old. What can I tell you?
Orson Scott Card?
No, I wish it was Orson Scott Card, but no. This is I think a winner from book 38. Oh, and starting in 2 weeks, we will have the winners from book 40 will be joining us before we get to the conference and the gala this year. So y'all could be checking it out. What do you mean? So if you're a winner, if you're listening to your past winner and you're in Cali, I'm sure that John and them would let you come and attend. So just write to them. I would address it to John Goodwin or Emily Goodwin, courtesy of Galaxy Press. galaxypress.com. Yes, you can go over to writersfuture.com and submit it there. If you're nobody, no, they're not going to let you come. No. Well, no, okay, that came out the wrong way, but there
are limited number of slots.
Yeah,
basically.
There's limited seats, and they like to have a decent amount of Hollywood gala type people there. Like we had the 2 generals from Space Command, and they had what's her name from that does Bart Simpson, and the other guy with his voice is a bunch of Hollywood. Johnny Depp's
Jim
Eskerman. Johnny Depp's replacement was there. He's a nice guy. I met him twice. He replaced Johnny Depp on 21 Jump Street. Him and his wife are very nice people. A bunch of people from the soap operas were there. A bunch of other women I met from other different things. There's a lot of interesting people there. And John introduces me to everybody, which is nice. Well, I like talking to people, but I like certain things. Anyway, we got to go. Good night. Stay tuned for Scott Bakula. I'm sorry.
Scott Bakula.
I don't know why I call him Scott Bakula. No, it's not his name.
He must look like Admiral Archer from Star Trek.
He is Spaced Out Radio. He's on. He's got like an hour and a half left, so y'all can go check.
Did you say Admiral Akbar?
Admiral Archer from Star Trek Enterprise.
You mean Admiral Akbar?
Admiral Akbar. I'm going with Admiral Akbar here. Let's see, I got my lightsaber ready to
Ain't
go.
those fish-eyed squid-looking dudes.
I'm ready. I'm ready. There we go. I'm ready now. Don't make me cut nobody's arms off.
Mine are way over there. I'm not even gonna bother.
And if that don't work, Martha is sitting. Where is Martha sitting? Oh, I don't think I can see Martha. Martha is sitting right there. She's been hiding behind us.
Just now.
Yeah, she's been hiding back there all night. She's been being a very good little girl.
Boom, boom.
But guys and girls, thanks again for tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. You were with Sean, who's going to be on his new show this Sunday. Be sure to come check him out. What time?
I know the Eastern. So 9 p.m. Eastern,
8 Central, and
6
Western.
p.m.
West Coast. So y'all be sure to check him out. Jay's here hanging out with Jeffrey Pritchard, who's just a weirdo, strange, freaky guy. And that's why he's on the network, by the way. First anybody asked why I said that. No, really, that's why he's on the network. And happy Mardi Gras to everybody. If you're coming down, drop me an email, drop me a letter, drop me a text. I got a lot of friends coming down this year, some of which I'm going to get to see, some I'm not. But enjoy it. Be safe. Don't be stupid.
Happy Fat Tuesday.
And yeah, have fun. Good night, everybody. Oh, and don't forget the day after Fat Tuesday is what? Valentine's Day. So save some money for your old lady. Bye-bye.